gonna be a warm way last week, which is gonna start with chums and stuff. When it shines it on, it'll look beautiful. Scratch. Oh, no more. Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's okay. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's been looking after themselves. What's everyone been up to today? Just chilling, listening to music. Well, I was. No, well, I was actually listening, watching Calvin's diary. He was forced to sell his Ford Sierra Cosworth. And my girlfriend did DMT earlier. It was a good experience. She had a good time on it. Can't really say anything more than that. But then it was a top-notch experience. Now to think I know how to make the stuff, which is even more insane. I can know how to synthesize it from scratch. But to be fair, someone said on YouTube that if you can make a cake, then you can make DMT. It's that simple. And I was like, nah, it can't be that easy. Like putting a cake in the oven. Obviously, no, you have to do the other steps, make the actual cake. But that's what he meant. Like if you can make a simple cake, then you can make and extract DMT. It's that simple. Like if you can follow steps to make a cake, you can follow the simple steps to extract DMT. It's not that many steps involved. That's what he meant by it. But yeah, it probably took me about 3 attempts before I smashed it out of the park. And I've got some stuff I took out of the freezer the other day, some stuff I made probably about a month ago, and then I washed it in heptane and then washed it in acetone, which took out any non-polar impurities and polar impurities. So then I'm left with a more pure product at the end of it. And yeah, I tried it before and I tried it after, and like you try it after and you try 0.2 before, it hits you so intensely, but you try 0.2 afterwards and you're sleeping for a lot longer on it. Like normally where it would last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Like the longest it's lasted is up to an hour, which is crazy. Hi. Hope everyone's doing okay. But yeah, it's incredible stuff when used in the right context. Like this is what I'll show you the two forms I've got. I have, and the difference between the two. And I'll show you. So this is both. So this is DMT, right? But it's been made into DMT fumarate, and then I pulled the DMT back out of the fumarate, so I basically reverted the chemical process. And you can see this is just freebase. This is that freebase DMT, right? No, this is not freebase DMT. This is where it's been washed in heptane, and so it's really fine like sand. Look at the color of it as well. So just remember the color of it, right? And then now look at freebase DMT when you see the difference. I'm gonna take this lid off. But then look at freebase DMT and look at the color of it. Let me see. Why is the camera like that? Am I on the right camera? Yeah, that's freebase DMT. So you can see the difference between the two. Why does the camera keep doing that? So that's freebase DMT, and then that's washed DMT after you've washed it in heptane. So you can see the difference in color straight away. That's so much darker in color, look. Hi Kingu. But yeah, look, this is after I've processed it in heptane, and then this has been processed just in heptane, but you can see the difference. You can see the crystalline structure, the way it shines in the light is mad. You can see it sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, you can see the difference in the way I've processed both powders. Where I said that's pure freebase DMT, like I said. It still needs to dry out, as you can see, because it's still sticking to the plastic. But it's a lot darker in colour, as you can see. Whereas once you process it and wash it in heptane and acetone, this is what you'll get. So you can see the difference once you've processed it. It makes it that's a lot more potent as well, because you can see the colour difference. That's probably like 98% pure, 98.9, probably 99% pure, and that's probably like 100%. Actually, I'd probably say it's probably, a 98, 97% pure with a few impurities. And I'd probably say that's probably like as close as you're going to get to 100% pure. I'd probably say that that's 99% pure at that point after I've washed it in heptane and acetone. So I've given it a wash in acetone, which is a non-polar solvent, and then a wash in heptane, which is a polar solvent, and basically it just takes out any impurities that are left on the surface, and you're left with a pure product at the end of it. But it's definitely worth doing. But yeah, I think freebase DMT and DMT. Yeah, I think the this the other stuff in this pot, like I said, is way too potent. Like you only need a small amount and you're under it for like fucking an hour. Whereas this stuff, I'll give you a small amount and you'll be under for a few minutes. Whereas I give you, actually, it'd be interesting to see how long you'd be under on this for, in comparison to this stuff, to see if there's any time difference or whether it's a similar difference or whether there's no difference. Or if it is longer, I know it's a lot more potent. Simple as, isn't it? It's the easiest way to tell. Like if I give you a 0.1 of this, I'll give you a 0.1 of that. It lasted about, you were awake within about half an hour. I give you a 0.1 of this, you'll probably be awake within about 10 minutes. And if it is, then I know it's extremely potent in comparison because it lasted twice as long.
Sleep well in it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I already have shut you out. I said bless up, Kingdom.
There's really skins. I don't really think.
You spam in the chat, you won't get a shout out at all.
You're fat.
Already shouted you out.
Fat. It's not even if you need now.
What are you up to anyway? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's blessed, hope everyone's doing well, hope everyone's looking after their mental health. I'm gonna make some food in a minute. I'm getting hungry. Body progress is getting there. It's looking good. Even the V here. Nice. Use my arms. Sleeper. Even if I can. I like the structure of my arms. Hope everyone's doing well though, hope everyone's good. But yeah, just chilling, just having a smoke. Just watching YouTube. About to make some food in a minute. Yeah, my hair's messy, I need a haircut. And I have a receding hairline, but it's hidden with my hair.
Everyone's fine.
See my receding hairline, I'm getting old. You can see it here. Comes back to here and here.
It's much worse. It looks worse on there. But it's always nice if we put that in every bottle.
I need to sort it out. I need to grow my hair out. I'm able to do that. Definitely, for to do that, I need to grow my hair out. My hair's not long enough, nowhere near long enough. I need to grow it down to like fucking maybe here. That to be in the shoulders probably. Police let this serial predator walk free. What the fuck? They killed 2 women. What the fuck? Oh, mate, our justice system is fucked at this point when we're releasing a serial predator after he killed 2 women. Oh my god, mate. The UK is going to shit, mate. Generally, it is after that.
Been forensically identified as a suspect in the murder of Carmenza Trujillo on the 17th of the 3rd, 2025 in Wendover House, SE17. Okay? So the necessity for your arrest is for a prompt and effective investigation, okay, and to prevent any further harm.
So Simon Levy has been found guilty of the double murder of Carmenza Valencia Trujillo and Cheryl Wilkins. They were both murdered
fucked up.
last year in
Do you hear that?
2025.
Mate,
He
the
was
UK is
convicted-
truly fucked after we're letting a fucking serial predator walk free after he's killed 2 women. Mate, the UK, mate, our justice system is true. Mate, we need to take a leaf out of America's book, mate, with fucking capital punishment and fucking when it means capital punishment. Mate, give an eye for an eye, mate. If you do a rape or you kill someone, mate, instant death sentence, mate. Do you know what I mean? Why fucking taxpayers' money on keeping a prisoner in prison when it's like £100,000 a year or something like that? Do you know what I'm saying? Why keep a murderer, mate? Just wasting money that could go back into the public resource or public purse where it could actually be where it's needed. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Sex offender. He murdered the 2 women. He
he's a sex offender. He arred the 2 women, and he's been let back out, and he murdered them. Jesus.
and sexually assaulted others on public transport after
And
police
sexually assaulted
prosecutors
others. Oh my
reported
god. So he's a
series
serial
of
predator.
that left him free to roam the streets. So he didn't just kill these 2 women, he also violently raped a 3rd woman in a car park. And it says he had been down.
Shut the fuck up. 3 and it's out, generally. In America, 3 strikes and you're out. Mate, 3 strikes here and we let them back out. What the fuck?
It's
Raised by the
feeling women
Metropolitan
on
Police
trains.
as a risk to women before he carried out the attacks.
It's
Now,
fucked up,
I
man.
mean, the Metropolitan Police, you cannot be surprised. The Metropolitan Police is full of absolute wrongs. He is a jobless loner. That means he is
Too
an
nice,
incel,
Master.
involuntary celibate person
Mm.
who lived with his mother, attacked the 3 women while on bail for sexual assaults on trains in London. So, this is one of them guys who goes around on
Blind in
trains
one eye as
and does
well.
weird shit to women.
Fuck.
Simon Levy carried out a campaign of sex attacks on public transport in London, using his crudely hidden hand to commit flagrant sexual assaults. This footage is by a woman Levy's just assaulted,
He's got
who's
a
about
dick
to
out.
do the same thing to another woman on the same train. This video was passed to British Transport Police, but Levy wasn't charged for months.
hands
BTP
down
told
there,
us
so
that
that's his
delays
dick.
in its inquiries weren't good enough and were down to incompetence. Levy was repeatedly
And you see those situations
No,
there.
it's
you know,
finding.
that is the one. That's
It's
one of
New
those
York,
situations
okay.
where I'm really scared for the women because, like, you get touched.
No, but he had his
they're
hand
probably
down here.
thinking like,
And he had
did
his
that
cock
just
out.
happen? Like,
But he had it
there'll be
underneath his
questions
clothes.
like, there's no way. Do I make a scene? Am I gonna look crazy if I make a scene? It's one of them awkward moments.
freed on bail by the force and then by the courts. While carrying out the train assaults, Levy also prowled London, targeting vulnerable women involved in street sex work. In January last year, a woman who was being arrested told the Met she'd been violently raped in this car park.
Okay.
So he's targeting prostitutes.
Levy lived nearby.
Targeting
and
prosies.
could have been identified.
Serial predator.
The case after deciding the victim was
The police let this guy back out after he's a serial predator and a
You know
serial
what we need to do
rapist.
as well, you know,
And he murdered
the
2
way
women
the
and he's
world
been
is
let
heading,
back out.
the way the
How does
world
that
is
even make
heading, the way
sense?
things are, prostitution is
Like,
they might as well just start. They're going to tax it if they put regulation
Go,
in.
they
bro.
go
So
at
avoid more
sex
shit like
workers
this.
in
well, yeah,
America.
prostitution's legal
Yeah,
in the UK.
prostitution because
Aye,
it's
but I'm
legal.
saying they
It's
don't
all
call it that
prostitution anyway.
anymore.
No,
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 I think
but-
Well,
like,
it's
the
what
way
they're
the world is
calling it in
headed,
this.
we need like
It's a funny thing,
inflation,
she
all
looked
this
at a
stuff, bro.
prostitute.
Like, prostitution is going to become more and more prominent, bro. You know what I mean?
It's
So.
just kind of
He's just saying it how it is, autism.
One in
I
one
know,
in
but
10
I'm
women
saying
in
I could
America,
tell
Gen Z,
Yeah, yeah.
myself
is on
as a
OnlyFans.
prostitute.
Do you understand how
I'm
insane
just
that
getting
is? 1 in
the,
20.
I'm just getting
Even
the
1 in 20
story
is
of them.
insane. The way the trend is headed, bro, legalize prostitution. The government's going to tax it, but we need some regulation here to stop this stuff from happening. You know what I'm saying?
Talk me
To
English.
stop the guys like this, bro. You know what I mean? They said he was targeting workers
Levy then
What,
murdered
mate?
Carmenza
Apples and
Valencia
pears, mate, yeah?
Trujillo, a beloved grandmother from Colombia. He found her in South London,
My what?
killing her
Get on the
in
dog
a
and bone, yeah?
derelict block of flats, leaving her on the stairwell.
Get on my phone, dog and
You've been
bone.
forensically identified as a suspect.
Like, brother. No, this ain't my brother, bro. You know what I mean? This is the problem as well. Another problem, bro. This is why looks maxing has become a trend, right? Because this guy, like, he's 40 years old. You know what I mean? Live with his mum, loner, jobless, messed up hairline, doesn't take care of himself. You know what I mean? Like, in order to avoid this, because it says in the article, it even
But I
says
can
he had
talk
a
like
sex
that.
addiction.
I get you.
If you have a sex
What, talk like a
addiction
roadman?
and you don't want to pay for it, bro, alright? And you don't want to pay for it, what you can do, get a job, okay? Get a job, commit to something. Go, once you get enough money, this is before anything else, by the way, go to the gym at the same time. But once you go into the gym and work on your job, mumsy's good. Once you save up a couple £1,000s, get on a plane to Turkey, alright?
Sort your hairline
Start
out.
hairline.
I literally said that as a
Hairline pattern up again. Then go to a barber. Come to my barber. Know what I mean? He'll pattern you good. You know, give you a new cut. Maybe grow out your hair. Get some dreads.
I'm
you know what I
Ukrainian.
mean?
Did you come over
Some
from the
dreadlocks,
Ukrainian
bro.
war?
You know what I mean? Then get yourself
Against
a car.
Russia.
Get yourself a driver's license. You know what I mean? Go and talk to people. Socialize. You know what I mean? Instead of randomly touching women on the train, just look at them and smile. Morning. How you doing? Nice journey, innit? Train's so packed, innit? Start off like that. Keep doing them steps. Build yourself up. Look smacks. And then guess what? You don't even need to pay for it after that. You don't even need to pay for it, man. You know what I mean?
Murder of Carmenza Trujillo.
He was arrested but released. Because the cause of death was unclear, the Met failed to actually class it as a murder.
Oh my god.
Levy was left free to kill Cheryl Wilkins last summer.
That's fucked
Oh my
up.
He did so in the same car park where he'd raped the woman who survived.
Is this guy an idiot?
Insane.
He found Cheryl on the street.
The same
took her
attack.
behind a wall in
In
the
the
car
same
park,
fucking place.
emerging after he'd murdered her.
Man, bastard.
Bruv.
Dirty fuckery.
This officer's just going to read something out to you.
Okay.
The Met finally understood the danger posed by Levy.
So it is. What do you mean?
He'd killed 2 women and attacked 12 others,
Fucking hell,
all
man.
being taken off the streets.
12 other people
He
he attacked.
attacked 12 others.
12 others? How did they not see that? This guy was a fucking
In London.
danger to people and other surrounding, let alone himself.
The most cameras in the world.
He's a danger to the public. Like 12 people.
Per
He's
square
definitely.
mile.
Why is he not
Per
locked up?
square
Why is he not
centimetre.
banged up in fucking a mental
London.
institution?
And he got away with it for that long. All these reports, bro.
Probably not
It
mental,
gets
which would be
to a
just sick in
point,
the
bro.
head.
It gets to a point.
It's somebody
where
was
there's this
free to
many
feel
reports.
bad.
Maybe we should take this guy off the streets, bro.
He's an
Maybe we
episode.
should prioritize this guy, because maybe he's a danger.
He is a danger.
2 families ruined.
How is he not off the
Ruined.
streets already?
They say between late 2024 and summer 2025, he was freed on bail. And then the courts, multiple times, even after having been charged with sex offences, and broken his bail conditions. He was also being monitored and risk managed by the Met.
He wasn't being
Police
monitored very well.
He had been in prison for 2 sexual assaults, and the Scotland Yard downgraded his risk to women upon his release in 2024. A decision now under investigation by the police.
I was going to say, why
The Met
downgrade it?
closed its investigation into the rape he carried out in January 2025, despite the fact Levy could have been identified. The force did not class Carmenza's death in March 2025 as a murder, or pass the case to specialist homicide detectives until he had killed again. The Met took 3 years to investigate and charge him with sexual assault of the prison officer, with the CPS also acting too slowly. BTP, British Transport Police, investigation to Levy's sexual assaults was beset by delays.
English can be
Meaning
very
he was
violent,
not
yeah.
charged for more than 6 months, despite being
And
filmed
stabbing everyone.
carrying out an attack. That is insane. The Met and the BTP, the British Transport Police, they are just anything that happens
Stabbing
on the
everyone and
trains or
everyone, they don't
CFL,
give a shit,
it's
mate.
them who
Because
do
they
it.
are under the
They're
age of
just-
18, they don't care
the
if they
Met and
stab.
BTP both
Do you know what I
gave
mean?
Levy back a stolen
In that
travel card,
sense.
which let him travel without paying and commit crimes, including the first
Well,
murder.
they'll get a lot of youngers
So
to
they
commit
gave Levy
crimes
back a
because they're under the
stolen
age of
travel
18.
card. There's
Whereas in
been-
America,
there has been a collective
you're
system of
nearly
failure,
the
and
age
it
of
was a
18 of an
tragedy beyond
adult,
words.
they'll try you as an adult.
This is
Whereas in the UK, I don't think they'll try you as an adult. I think
he was obsessed
the
with sex.
minimum they
And
try
the
you as an
home where he
adult, I
lived
think
with
is
his mother, the
16.
computer
I'm not
was found
100%
full of
sure
notes
about
about
that.
my favourite sex positions and my sex records, as well as plastic bags stuffed with old newspaper articles about
Arab
sexual abuse,
Republic.
rape, and murder. He was
That's
also
full of
interested in the
Muslims.
misogynistic influencer Andrew Tate. Okay, I'm gonna say this, bro. This is reaching a little bit, bro. Right? This is reaching a little bit, bro. Right? I'm not trying to defend 40-year-old man who cheats 15-year-old girls. At all, he's a weirdo, bro. But trying to link Andrew Tate to guys like this, I mean, you could say Andrew Tate was making money off guys like this when he was doing the webcam business, but come on, man. Like, if you're interested in Andrew Tate and you're looking at what he's saying, bro, you'll not be this guy. This is someone who's given up on life, bro. You know what I mean? This is somebody. I'm not trying to sympathize with this guy at all, as well. You know what I mean? We need to prevent these things from happening. You have to look at the root cause. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, with this guy, it's like you didn't even try.
Alright,
40,
yeah, you're right.
jobless,
Alright.
hairline done, not taking care of yourself, bro. You know what I mean? Not taking care of yourself, bro. And having a sex addiction, bro. No job. You know what I mean? Like, have a sex addiction, bro. It's fine. But if you don't want to pay for it, work on yourself, and then you don't need to pay for it, bro. It's simple as that. He did not hide who he was. He first came to the attention of the Met in 2017 when a woman reported him for sexually assaulting her at an event in South London. The CPS ruled out charging him, a decision now viewed as a mistake. In 2021, he received a 3-year prison sentence for the sexual assault of 2 women in separate attacks at public events in London in summer 2018. Levy had put his hands down
That should have
with
been the
women's
word of
trousers
warning.
and shorts, with one of the offences resulting in the charge of assault by penetration.
Oh my God.
Despite describing the offence as extremely serious, Judge Christopher Hare refused to impose a sexual harm prevention order on Levy, which would have placed limits on the sex offender's activity upon release. Such orders are used to enforce restrictions.
Why didn't
on
they
who
put a
an
shopper
offender can
order on
have
it? I
contact
do
with,
not
as
know.
well as their internet use or travel. But the judge said the draft order was too broad. Yeah, you can't. How are you not checking? I think if you get convicted of anything like that,
Justice
well, they
system
have to
look
check
after
all your hard
paedophiles.
drives.
That's the
They have
problem.
to check all your hard drives.
The
He
UK
decided
look
it was
after
not necessary
pedos. That's the
to
problem.
provide protection
We protect
according to
them.
a transcript
We shouldn't
sent
protect
to
them,
the
mate.
Southern Crown Court.
But if
Now,
they don't protect them,
right,
fucking
you go up to a
the
random
inmates will
boy
kill
you
them.
don't know, and you think it's okay to put your hand
Do you know
down
what I
your
mean?
trousers.
But I think that yeah, exactly. I think the inmates should do like
The judge
if
said
they
he would
if they
nevertheless be
someone's not
subject
came on the outside,
indefinitely
they're gonna get
to
killed
the
by someone on the
monitoring
inside.
requirements
It's soon
related to
enough.
sex offenders once released back to the
My
community.
daughter, so now.
The Met was responsible for this monitoring, which involved the
Well,
local
they're just getting the treatment handed out to
but
them
their monitoring
how it should have
proved
been
to be a
handed
failure.
out to them. Like I said, we don't have the death
When
sentence,
Levy
but
was
that is
first
the death
released from
sentence,
prison on
pretty
license
much.
in 2023,
You do something like
he was
that,
classed as a
you go to
high-risk
prison, you ain't
sex
coming out
offender. He was
alive.
on license and managed by multiple agencies, including the Met Police and
Or if you are, you got a lot of
He
money and you're
briefly
segregated and
returned to
fucking
prison
protected.
in May 2024 to finish his 3-year sentence for sex offending. After being accused
I'm
of
alright.
rape and therefore breaking his license conditions, he was not charged with any further offence. When he was finally released in August 2024, at the end of his sentence, the Met became solely responsible for risk managing Levy. The force downgraded him from high risk to medium. His risk status was not upgraded even after he carried on sexually assaulting
That's
women.
crazy how it
Something
wasn't
the Met knew
upgraded.
he had been
risk
charged
status.
with multiple times by the BTP, the Transport Police. The consequence of the downgrade was less focus and monitoring. 2 Met officers are now under investigation by the ILBC, the same organisation that investigates police officers and acquitted the officer who shot Chris Cabba. Even while he was in prison, he continued his predatory behaviour. In April 2022, he sexually assaulted a female prison officer in HMP Brixton. She
He couldn't
reported
help
the same day,
himself.
but he was only questioned by
Even
the
while he was in
FBI
prison,
after
he
release.
still
Yeah.
assaulted
The assault
a
was captured
female
on CCTV.
police.
He had grabbed the
cell,
officer's backside
fucking
and
prison
passed her
officer.
on the stairs.
That's
After he
fucking
was questioned by police, nothing happened.
He needs to stay in.
Levy was left free.
How has he been let out?
Where's his time looking into the help from doing that?
And the fact he's murdered 2 girls. How the fuck does he? Probably because he's been put in protection. Because he's murdered 2 girls. But you think he would have been dealt with by the prisoners by now? Even after murdering 2 girls and raping them. Even if they're of age or not.
London public transport between October and May 2023, 2025, encountered him at random. In February
No,
this
a
year,
life
he
is
was
a life
convicted of
regardless, isn't
intentionally
it?
and sexually touching the woman
Whether
on
you
her
take an
legs,
adult's life or a child's life.
buttocks, or vagina without their consent. Before I was assaulted, I was the type of person who travelled around with confidence and curiosity. I had a sense of adventure and I would treat everyone with kindness. One victim said during his sentencing. Now I treat everyone with suspicion. I avoid places in public I feel unsafe around strangers, particularly males. And I struggle with busy environments and public transport. Levy would ride the tube network for hours, seeking busy carriages as cover for his assaults. He tied clothing around his waist and placed his hand beneath it in a crude attempt to disguise it and enable him to assault more women. His first victim was attacked on a busy tube in central London. He boarded and positioned himself directly in front of the woman before leaning his elbow on her. She moved away. A few minutes later, she felt something touching her, over her clothes, on her vagina. Such was the force Levy
On
used
her
that she
vagina,
felt like it was an
fuck.
attempt to push his fingers inside.
What do you mean,
through
old
her
Goodfellas are
clothes.
gone?
Bro,
I know what I would do if you tried
He's trying to finger her, he's trying to finger her on the
Met
trigger.
police have fucked up here.
He's
She
trying to
grabbed Levy's hand and asked what he was doing, but he did not respond. When other passengers asked if she was alright,
that's what I
Levy
would
What are you up
protested his
to?
innocence.
What do you mean,
What are you
old
talking about? Look, my hand
Goodfellas
is covered,
are gone?
he said, pointing to the jumper draped over his arm. Levy then called her crazy and stupid and got off the tube at Westminster Station. The woman got off at the next stop, upset and crying. She went on to report it to the BTP. There was CCTV available, but police did not identify him. He would only be linked to the case 2 years later, after more women had been attacked. After his first tube assault, he assaulted three more women in quick succession. After being assaulted herself, the first of those three victims then filmed Levy sexually assaulting a second unidentified woman travelling in the same carriage. This is what we need to remember as well. How many women has he done that to? That didn't bother to report this. The first
Probably
woman
done it to
immediately
thousands.
reported what happened to BTP and provided the footage. He assaulted a third woman a week
It's fucked
later.
up. This guy had been let
After
out
being
and he's murdered
questioned
2
and
women.
denied the offences,
He's
BTP
assaulted probably
officers said they didn't have enough evidence
hundreds
to
of
charge,
women
and he was released
doing
on
this on
bail.
the tube.
The subsequent BTP investigation was full of delays. It
It's
was weeks
fucked up,
before
man. Our justice system is fucked up.
identity
The fact that we
and
let a
BTP
predator
did not
out,
approach the
a
CPS
serial
for 6
predator,
months.
and he's murdered
When
2
it did
women and
eventually
I murdered
25,
them as well.
the CPS team had to
And he's just
scramble
been
to a
let back out.
criminality charging decision overnight.
That's messed up,
BTP
mate.
again arrested
The UK
Levy
is going to
once
shit.
in court the next day. This was highly unusual.
Generally is,
BTP
mate.
had known about the initial offences for 6 months. Stolen travel card. Pretty much, he had a stolen travel card that he took from a bus driver because bus drivers clearly are able to get free travel. Oh, by the way, one of the rape victim, the third woman that he raped, she was actually arrested after reporting the rape because she breached a community order, meaning she shouldn't have been in the area. Yeah,
Whoa.
classic Metropolitan Police. But anyway, guys, shocking story. So happy this creep is off the streets. You know what I mean? Here, look at him. You know what I mean? Like, look at him.
Eventually.
No, like,
Hundreds.
this is what you're gonna do if you're like this, bro.
Man, he's got one eye. Look at this for a fucking mugshot. Look at that for a
I
mugshot.
don't want my sister encountering fucking guys like this. I mean, I don't want to have to go do 25 years after killing someone like this.
He's got fucking
My
blind in
sister
one
killed
eye.
me. You get what I'm saying?
Someone needs to finish the job off and kill him, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have to do
Look at that for a mugshot,
So
though.
we need to get these guys off the street, and we need
It's
to
a right
make
fucking mugshot and a half.
the root cause of this stuff.
It's blind in one eye.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Chung Li says in China this monster would have been killed. Well,
Exactly, that's what I just fucking
you remember
said.
the Chinese student
It would have
who,
been
like,
killed already.
like
It'd be
25
put in
Chinese
general
girls
population in
lost
prison.
their lives.
And not put in
You can just shut up, Chung Li.
fucking special wing, whatever it's called. Yeah, Dan gutted his other eye. Dan gutted his eye out. He deserved it. I want to know what the comments are. Police let the serial put it out. That's what I just said. I just said that to you. This government is disgusting. No matter what they do, they will let you out of prison. The sexual deviant was just out here doing madness, and people wonder why women are scared every day if you see a woman in danger. R.I.P. the woman. This is sad. It is very sad. The fact that you can let someone out in the UK like that, that's just fucked up, man. In the US, he wouldn't be getting out for a very, very, very long time after causing a double murder and fucking rapes and sexual assaults and doing it on public transport and fucking probably getting caught more than once. He got caught 3 times sexually assaulting women on. Mate, he would have been dealt with by inmates and would he killed by now, if not his other eye taken out, and he'd be lucky if he was still barely breathing if he was in the States. Yeah, where is that? It was in the UK. In the UK. That was the UK, yeah.
See, I'm telling you about things like this, but
That's what I mean, how the hell is that dude not even locked up in the first place? That's what I mean. Well, he was locked up multiple times and he was let off due to a mistake from the Met Office, Met Police.
and I bet Jake it's about 3 years.
So yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Hang on, Wes Watson accuses John Bravo of putting him in jail.
Just got nothing else better to do but sit there making a bit and blaming.
Yes, I know what the state's definitely in the prison system now, definitely getting took. Exactly. Oh my God. Am I reading that right? Entitled Influencer returns dog stuffed in suitcase dead after dog sitting for 10 fucking days. Are you joking me? That is, mate, she better not be British if she is, mate.
When you leave
She
your
needs to
dog
be
with a
banned
pet sitter,
from
you
owning her
don't
pets
expect
for the
the
rest of her
animal to
life.
die. When you leave your dog with a pet sitter, you don't expect the animal to die. You also don't expect to have their decomposing body delivered to you stuffed inside a suitcase. But that's exactly what happened to a dog owner in New
I
York
would
City.
kill him.
I wish I was making it up. I'm not.
And now everyone's asking the same question. What could cause a husky to go from healthy to lifeless in the span of 10 days? And more importantly, who's to blame?
I feel really, really sad because I knew that this was a horrific person. I just didn't know.
Why did you fucking take him
Let's
to him then?
expose what
Oh,
really
woman.
happened. This video is dedicated to our Patreon member of the week, Patrick. If you're watching, Patrick, thank you for believing in the work we do. And to everyone else here, watching this deep dive already helps make videos like these possible. If you'd like to support us even further, join us on Patreon or submit a topic you believe deserves more attention at the link in the description below. Now, on to the story with so many twists and fallout. It was November 17th, 2025, that Jun-Yo Lee, who goes by the nickname 11, decided to share her pet sitter horror story online.
I want to share my
I think
story.
it's an AI
A
voice
decision?
because she said a word, but she should have put an S at the end. So I think it's an AI voice. Where she should have said, listen to the word that she should have finished with.
It's 2025 that here,
So
watching this
I'm
deep
looking
dive
at
already
these.
helps make videos like these possible. If you'd like to support us even further, join us on Patreon or submit a topic you believe deserves more attention at the link in the description below. Now, on to the story with so many twists and fallout. It was
Fallouts.
November 17th, 2020.
So many twists and fallouts. Not so many twists and fallout. Do you know what I mean? That's how you call the person out using AI.
25 that Jun-Yo Lee, who goes by the nickname 11, decided to share her pet sitter horror story online.
I want to share my story.
A decision that would send
I want to share my
shockwaves through
story.
the internet.
I
cook my dog.
I see things and
You
I
should
think
do
to
it.
myself, this can't be real. This is one of those situations.
I was very hungry.
Do not trust these sick fucks with your dog.
We just want justice for JC.
I just want justice for JC, my dog.
According
I
to
cooked him
11,
by accident.
losing Jia Chang, JC for short, wasn't just losing a pet. It was losing a piece of her family, her child, her heart. And if you
Lorraine.
need convincing, just take a scroll through 11's Instagram, or better yet, JC's. These posts expose
Scotland.
exactly what kind of dog owner 11 was. You know, the type who had tattoos and stuffies inspired by her pet, who was always looking out for his best interest, who celebrated every one of JC's birthdays with party hats and elaborate husky-themed cakes. In fact, it was just after JC's 7th birthday party in March 2025
Oh, look at that though.
that 11 lost her beloved
Ah.
pet forever. See, 11 had a trip to China booked for later that month, and that meant
I need a dog sitter while I visit my family for only 10 days.
this led 11 to Famida, a woman she connected with over the dog-sitting app Rover. To cut out in-app fees, Famida
big bet to
suggested
go
taking the
with them.
transaction offline.
I trusted her, so I agreed.
Safe to say, it wasn't long before that trust was broken. She paid Famida $360 to watch JC for 10 days. And like any good dog mom, 11 did her best to prepare Famida for the visit, even filling the sitter in on the most minuscule details.
Huskies
This
do.
included messaging Famida that
They
JC
take a lot of work, the
would be a
Huskies
bit guarded when eating snacks, so it was best to separate him from other dogs when feeding him snacks. Generally, he will be fine, 11 reassured Famida. This situation rarely occurs. But as this story proves, you can't prepare for everything.
Yeah,
On March 19th,
she's from
11
Scotland.
dropped JC off at the Hell's Kitchen apartment that Famida shared with her boyfriend, Dimitri Kochi. But it wasn't long before 11 developed a sinking suspicion that something was off.
There were things that didn't feel right.
It began on March 23rd when 11 messaged Famida asking for photos of JC. Later that night, after no response, 11 messaged Famida again. Hi, I'm so worried. Can you reply to my message? Finally, 3 days later, Famida responded with photos of the husky. These blurry images, however, did not put 11 at ease. Immediately, the pet owner noticed JC was dirty and had seemingly lost weight. Alarmed, she messaged Famida. Did he play in the mud? He's all dirty from head to toe. How does he do with his meals every day? 11 was so disturbed by the condition JC was in that she asked Famida if a friend who was in the area could see the dog in person.
She ignored the message.
Instead, Famida reassured 11 that her dog was happy and full of energy. This seemed to soothe 11's fears. She even thanked the pet sitter for
Death
taking
by
such
rocks.
good care of
Exactly.
John Chen. But just 12 hours later, the illusion that JC was being well taken care of shattered permanently. As 11 was traveling back to New York, assuming she was about to be reunited with her pet, Famida broke the devastating news.
She called me and said JC died while she was watching him.
I was yelling on the plane. This is impossible. I just couldn't stop crying. I can't believe this happened. Everyone was looking at me, 11 told the New York Post. More than anything, the owner was in disbelief.
I was shocked. He was a healthy, happy dog when I left.
Yet the supposedly healthy and happy dog was now dead at just 7 years old,
Fucked
half
up.
the average lifespan of a husky. None of
15?
this made sense to 11, especially what Famida chose to do next. This brings us to potentially the most unnerving chapter in this story. After JC passed away, Famida and Dimitri placed JC's remains into a plastic bag and put it in a suitcase, a choice that now had internet users questioning.
Are you all okay? What the?
11's boyfriend, who had just gotten back to the city, met the couple outside of his office, where he captured this footage of them wheeling the remains towards him. Famida and Dimitri then left 11's boyfriend with the suitcase, allegedly never offering to accompany him to the vet. So he rolled the JC remains into
Yeah,
the
where's the
clinic
dog?
alone,
Where in the
where
bag?
dogs immediately started
Yeah, where's the
working
dog in the
upon his
bag?
entrance. They could feel that JC was dead, he told the Post. Even though I didn't open the suitcase yet, they could feel it. When 11 arrived at the vet, she broke down in tears over her deceased pet's body. But 11 didn't just need to grieve. She needed answers. For starters, what was that smell? Yep, there was a stench emanating from the suitcase that was so intense that the staff at the vet had to start lighting candles. But how could a dog that had only recently passed away emit such a foul odor? Well, maybe that's because JC had been dead for a while.
Pet hospital told us he did not look like he was awake at something.
According to 11's boyfriend, the nurse was the one that told us this first. She's like, they say your dog died this morning? There's no way. There's no way. How his body is conditioned. That's right. Professionals believed Famida was lying about the dog's time of death. And if that was true, what else might this pet sitter have been hiding?
That's what every kid does.
It's fucked up.
Questioning what's really happening.
Makes me angry,
Brings
man.
us to the
Some
third
people don't
chapter
deserve
of this
pets.
story. 11 ordered a necropsy, aka a post-mortem for non-human animals, in hopes that the report would provide insight into how her dog passed away. The necropsy found that JC was in the first stage of decomposition, and there were signs of muscle atrophy.
Which led the owners to believe that JC may have died earlier than they expected.
However, the report couldn't determine if the muscle wasting was chronic or caused by outside factors. In fact, given that JC was decomposing, it was impossible to determine any cause of death. Poison, it seemed, was the only thing that could be ruled out. It was only after 11 connected with dog trainer and animal advocate Jonas Black over social media that some much-needed context was provided. According to Jonas, who looked over the necropsy results with veterinarian friends, a healthy middle-aged husky doesn't typically die in 10 days without any warning signs.
This is where her statement collapses both scientifically and morally.
And the necropsy also suggested this wasn't something that happened overnight.
That's fucked up.
Dehydration markers, systemic stress, and overall physical decline don't go from 0 to catastrophic in 24 hours.
According to Jonas, there would have been a clear decline in JC's health while in Famida's care, including lethargy, changes in behavior, and eating habits.
To pretend that a 7-year-old husky went from alive to dead with no visible signs at all is an insult to every veterinarian, every dog owner, and every person walking the face of this earth. The gaslighting is real heavy on this.
To Jonas, the implication was clear. Famida was either not watching the dog or was and chose not to act to save his life.
That's
After
fucked
all,
up.
just because JC wasn't poisoned didn't mean the pet sitter wasn't responsible for his death.
A necropsy cannot clear someone of neglect. It cannot tell you whether he was checked on regularly, whether he had water when he needed it, whether he was left stressed and unattended, or whether obvious early symptoms were ignored.
And a number of unanswered questions only heightened 11 and the internet's suspicion. With that, we've arrived at chapter 4. Looking back at Famida's messages, you might start asking yourself, were those photos the pet sitter waited days to see?
No, it wasn't her dog. Well, it's just photos of the net.
Had the delays in responding been an attempt to buy time? When she had ignored 11's message asking if one of her friends could visit JC in person, had the husky already died? And Famida's actions after JC's death only raised further questions. Why, for example, had Famida stored JC's body in a suitcase?
Stuffing his body into a suitcase is not an emergency protocol or a safety protocol. It is what people do when they are unprepared, panicked, and thinking more about concealment
That's so true.
than the animal or the family that the animal
Unprepared.
belongs to.
Famida and Dimitri
Never
lugged
thought
that
about it like that.
suitcase 2 miles away
Put
to
bodies in a
vet
suitcase,
Chelsea,
even humans,
despite there being
because
a
we're
veterinary
unprepared.
clinic right next
But
to their
fuck.
apartment building.
Fuck it,
It
let's
was
just put it in a
very safe
suitcase
for
and try and
us
wheel
to
it somewhere.
body. And
Do you
then
know what I'm
there was
saying?
JC's
So yeah, I get
collar
that.
that 11
Unprepared
quickly
bit.
realized wasn't on his body.
Where is the collar, and why is it not on JC?
That was the question 11 wanted an answer to.
But yeah, I never
She
realised
asked
it like
Famida
that.
for the collar back.
Thought about it
The
like
pet
that.
sitter claimed she couldn't
That we-
find it.
a lot of people
End of her,
get
also
cut up and
how
put
you
in
do it.
suitcases,
Obviously not
but then
well.
it's because we're
11 was in
unprepared.
mourning. In April 2025, she posted multiple photos of JC and herself on the pet's Instagram, captioning the post, "Baby, mommy misses you so much." But it wasn't until November that 11 posted the video calling Famida out. So what changed in that time that made the pet owner feel required to speak up? This next chapter should answer that question. See, it turns out Famida's failure to bring JC back to his owner alive might reflect a bigger pattern in the pet sitter's life, one where she repeatedly fails to fulfill her promises.
Alright guys, so I'm here at the scene of the crime.
I feel like she scammed us.
I think she's an asshole.
biggest bi thing, right? She's a cheerleader.
I think she's an asshole. She's so posh.
Famida isn't just a pet sitter. She's also someone with over 60,000 followers on Instagram and over 70,000
Well, yeah,
on
and that as well sounds like a hidden excuse to hide from being exposed. Yeah, definitely. When you're trying to put a body in a suitcase or an animal you've cut up and you're trying to hide it from someone or something, then yeah, I would imagine. So,
The up-and-coming social media star was already using her platform to take advantage of the little guy. On November 8th, the owner of Chef Papa Vietnamese Kitchen in Long Island City, Queens, John Trong, came to TikTok with a bold accusation.
Any influencer scam my family or restaurant?
This influencer, as you can probably guess, was Famida. According to the screenshots John provided in this video, Famida was the one who reached out to the establishment, introducing herself as a lifestyle and beauty content creator who is a big foodie. Being able to collaborate and create amazing content for you would be a phenomenal opportunity, she wrote. I trust you will take this message to serious consideration. And the family-owned restaurant did.
Of course, we love collaborating with influencers because that's one of our main sources of marketing.
They asked Famida how she'd like to collaborate, and she offered to shoot content in exchange for some dishes and drinks free of charge. The restaurant agreed, and Famida told them she'd stop by that evening.
After she came in, she ate about $200 worth of food and left a $6 tip. Of course, the $200 bill was comped.
After all, that was the agreement, a free meal in exchange for content. But Famida didn't hold up her end of the bargain.
About a month passes by. Haven't heard anything from her. She didn't message us. We reached out asking if there was an update when the video we posted. No response.
Their multiple follow-up attempts also went unanswered while she continued uploading videos. On October 16th, John messaged Famida reminding her that they agreed to comp her meal under the impression that she was an honest influencer.
And that's what I do.
And asked her to confirm that she would
Hence
post
why I
the
got
video that
2.7
night.
million
If you're
on
not
my
going to
Google.
post the
Because
video,
my
please
influence
let us
when I
know
go
and
around and
confirm
ask
when you'll come
businesses
back to
to
the
be an influential
restaurant to pay
business.
your bill and
They'll
tip
put
the waiter
2.6.
appropriately.
They give me
He
like a free
wrote.
meal.
She
They
didn't
give me money
respond
off
to
of it.
this or multiple
And 9 times out of 10 they say yes.
I'm making this video to spread awareness because us business owners, we do rely
That was just a way of them getting promoted and me getting fed for free or for cheap.
exposure because we don't have a platform ourselves. We rely on bigger content creators to help us with that.
Cheap and easy way of getting fed.
His family put their trust in the wrong influencer.
Because it works if you're nice enough.
But after posting their video, the restaurant got what they asked for, sort of. Famida posted about Chef Papa, but it wasn't positive. According to John, she didn't like anything about her experience. The food, the service, the smell, nothing.
It was a valid review. But here's the thing. She posted the video after I made the video about her not honoring her agreement with us.
Famida also
She only
left
did
a
it
comment on their
because of the
post, which
bad
along
press
with
she had
her
about her.
post was later deleted. The experience was truly disappointing and speaks volumes about the standards of this restaurant based off of this post and how you handle things, she wrote. The influencer claimed she collaborated with hundreds of New York restaurants.
Just by going
unfortunately,
live.
This was one of the rare times she left feeling unwell
And by
afterward.
talking about my
Still,
life
she offered to
and
provide a
me
rating for
rapping
each
and
dish,
performing
which along with the
and
service amounted to a
me
brutal
rapping
score
over
of
instrumentals
1.2 out of
and me
10.
cooking
She then
and
wrote,
just
"My goal is always to
showing my
share
daily
positive
life,
experiences
putting
with my
videos up of
audience.
Teddy
While I prefer
and
to
stuff like
highlight
that.
great spots,
So like
I
yeah,
also believe in
just
transparency when things fall short.
videos about
Be
everything and
mindful of how
everything.
my review may
There's about
impact the
50
restaurant,
videos.
so I decided not to
I
post
know I've
a
got
honest
about
review."
nearly 100
This is my
videos on my
response,
channel.
stating basically, you came to my restaurant.
It's not including my
ate the
shorts.
food. We asked you how was everything. You told us everything was great. Service was great. Food was great. Then you left the restaurant knowing that you weren't going to post us because you thought everything was terrible.
In the comment, John claimed that despite Famida not arriving at the agreed upon time and instead showing up 30 minutes before the kitchen closed, they were more than accommodating. He also pointed out that the influencer had all $200 worth of leftovers that she supposedly hated packed to go. As for the smell,
If you know Vietnamese food, you know it's known for its strong aroma.
Oh,
Fish
apparently
sauce,
it's
shrimp paste,
apparently
Vietnamese
it
food
didn't
only
taste
for
very
everyone.
good.
but given the amount of food she ordered, and the
She
fact that
ordered it
didn't
for all the
criticize
goes
the
and she
meal
took
at
all the
in
food out and
person,
left the
the
shit
post
review.
read like an excuse.
I
So
feel
she
like
literally
we're
ripped
being
them right
taken
off.
and this
Tore him a new
person
asshole, you might as well while you were at it.
He wasn't the only only one who felt that way.
Fucking
And
hell.
the $6 tip on a meal that was worth $200.
$6 tip on a $200 meal. Doesn't even cover
It's just New York behavior.
nothing.
That is some non-New York behavior.
That's some non-New York
Legal
behavior.
action, the majority of social media users were firmly #TeenChefPapa. Eventually, the story attracted the attention
funny.
of big influencers like Joey Swoles and Goob. Goob even went to the restaurant where he didn't tell the
Yeah, I've got
influencer and paid for
TikTok,
his own food. No
Snapchat,
special treatment.
Facebook,
And his
YouTube,
review, well, it
Instagram,
definitely wasn't 1.5 out of 10.
WhatsApp. I've got all of them. You just got to post on all of them, multiple basically.
And others who were
Post your same video on like 5 multiple platforms, and then you get 5 times the amount of views. You see what I'm saying? And then you get 5 times the amount of traction. You get 5 times the amount of eyes seeing it. You see what I'm saying? That's how you get subs as well,
video also prompted others to come forward.
as well as going live and that.
Whoopsie Shretsa, owner of No
But when I got to 1,000, I did a giveaway. I gave a Casio watch away as well, so I did that as well.
By Famida after her visit. Since then, we've been very careful with who we collaborate
But yeah, I've
with.
just been good. I did that in 6 months as well.
John's
I got 1,000
also
subscribers in
led
6
11 to
months.
come forward
It's
with
crazy,
the
isn't it?
story.
I stay quiet.
And I'm 1 subscriber away from 1,003
I feel like I need to
subscribers.
So no
Not
argument.
1,003, but
And given
Well,
Famida's
1
reputation, it
point
didn't take much for this
03.
story to attract
So,
attention and speculation.
1,030 subs.
I think the dog died from neglecting her.
But yeah, 1,030 subs in about 6.5 months. And I didn't even think I'd get 1,000 subs. Well, initially I didn't think I'd get 1,000 subs, but then I thought, well, if I grind away every day on YouTube for 6 months, I should get 1,000 subscribers. And I did. I did it in 5.5 months. Smashed it out of the park. So I was happy about that.
Care. With that, we've arrived at chapter 6. In May 2025, TikToker Ashley Emisa, also known as Emma, posted a video about her experience with a Rover pet sitter in Hell's Kitchen that January. According to Emma, she said something was off from the moment she met the sitter and her boyfriend.
When I dropped my dog off, it was almost like I was inconveniencing them. It was super awkward. No questions were asked. They almost like wasted me out of the coffee.
But Emma had a flight to catch, and considering the 5-star reviews the sitter had on Rover, she figured her dog was safe. During her vacation, Emma received minimal photos from the sitter and had to follow up multiple times for updates, behavior that should sound familiar. And this wasn't the only way Emma's story mirrored Eleven's. On the last day of her dog's stay, while she was traveling back home, she received bad news from her sitter, the same way Eleven had.
They told me that my dog had jumped off of their bed and he hurt his leg,
Cut my hair
and that they tried to stretch it out, which you should never do.
So much of it.
And that they tried to make him run.
It was Emma's belief
It's alright
that the sitter
though. My
and the
hairline's
sitter's
alright. My
boyfriend
hairline's alright
injured her
considering
dog further by doing
I got a
this,
receding
so
hairline
much
here.
so that when she picked her pet up,
But that's why like my hairline's come back to it. It's not too bad
and that limp
considering I'm 36. When I was younger, my hairline was probably here when I was younger. Well, you can see, like the nip here. My hairline was like here when I was younger. As you can see at the front, where it's gone back. So it's probably gone back by about
this meant JC lost
that
his life about 2 months after Famida
in the space of
allegedly injured Emma's dog.
20 years. And obviously, it's happened over time. But yeah, 20 years ago, it was there. When I was like 16, it was there. It's not bad, really. Could be a worse hairline.
The app, however, allegedly hadn't found any reason to remove Famida's profile.
I would love to get in technical mistakes if this Rover had a track record of hurting dogs.
And when she said track record, she wasn't just referring to her experience.
One of the dogs she watched came back shaking, and his white was yellow because of all the urine.
But while Emma's story added weight to the theory that the animal sitter was guilty of some serious animal neglect, the only people who knew what happened were Famida and Dimitri, and neither were speaking out yet. This brings us to the 6th chapter of this story, the other POV. While JC was staying with Famida, the influencer continued to upload regularly.
Most nights I'll literally skip on taking off my makeup because it feels like a chore. It's a lot.
And after his death, well, nothing changed. my neck, my back, and of course my pit. Of course, from her followers' perspective.
Teddy. Teddy boy. Teddy boy. Hello, boy. Hi, boy. You want to see this cool toy I made from his old toys? Basically, he chewed the fuck out of his rope toy. And where I've got this COVID-looking fucking thing for him to pull on, he's got this one on the end, on the other end. And so what I decided to do is tie them together, 1, 2, 3, 4 knots in that one, and then tie it together on that side as well, 4 knots in that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, so he ain't getting that undone for shit. And now I've got a decent rope tie for him to put on, and he can pull on the other end when he's interested in it, that is. But he pulls on the other end. It's pretty cool. So now I can play tug of war with him. But yeah, it's good that the second time you're trying to be a serious content creator. But yeah, it's a multiple thing. Just that. Yeah, you can do it. Mate, I've had Facebook since 07. So you can definitely do it. If I can do it, you can do it. But yeah, you should carry on doing content creation. You're too good at it. Teddy, stop drinking it all, man. Teddy, don't start. Babe. If you knew that. I'm just making some food right now. How's everyone doing? I'm just making some food at the moment. Hope everyone's been having a good time. Whatever they're doing, hope everyone's been looking after their mental health. That's lucky, and he's fucking swallowed plastic then. Great. I would have nearly eaten that. Aye. Aye. Don't forget.
Oh, that's something. So I'm going to go for it. Just told you.
Oh, it's more
Just told me. Next. Dropped it again. Dropped it. See it? What's that? It's so that's a perfect. He didn't shoot through the last thing. What he said to eat for me.
For a little more, so you need to do all. A little more areas, and just sort of middle line. So you can see who's over the line. Then you draw a line on the floor.
Right.
That's what the middle, that's what that knot's for. So you can see if you're actually against the wall. And it gives him something to grip hold of as well. His teeth. When you grip something like that nub, you can grip hold of it with his teeth. And that'll grip it tighter, which is just done. So I mean, it's definitely tight on there. Hope everyone's sound, hope everyone's looking after their mental health. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'm just eating my dinner. I'm eating chicken pesto pasta. Yeah, it's actually really nice. Rather hot though. Yeah, how's everyone doing today? If everyone's looking after their mental health. Mate, entitled influencer returns dog stuffed in suitcase after a 10-day dog sitting. That's fucked up, innit? Some people are so callous and so spiteful. How's everyone doing? I'm just eating my dinner at the moment. I'm just eating some chicken pesto pasta. It's quite nice. I should put a knife in there so I can cut the chicken. But it's alright. It's only a minor inconvenience. But yeah, I've got chicken pesto pasta. Really nice. Got a bit of chicken stuck in the left hand bottom of my tooth though. Can I get it out? That's the question. I don't really want to run to the bathroom and use the toothbrush. Just to get that flake of fucking chicken out. Nah, I'll just cook some myself. She offered, but I didn't want fish fingers. So I just had chicken pesto pasta instead. But no, like I said, it's just chicken pesto pasta. Oh yes, it's nice nonetheless. Hi guys and girls, hope everyone's doing well, everyone's doing good. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's alright. Just eat my dinner, chicken pesto pasta. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's blessed. Hope everyone's good. I've just eaten some pasta. Hope everyone's been sound. So I've just eaten my dinner. I haven't eaten anything all day. First thing I've eaten all day. So I've been fasting all day. And it is going down a fucking treat. So good like that. Chicken pesto pasta. It was actually really good. I'm just gonna have a yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick smoke. But if anyone's offended by that, then leave now. So that's it. But not many people are offended at people who smoke weed. Like, I've got a cannabis prescription in it for my spine, so it helps me with my pain tolerance. Excuse me, with my spine. Where I broke my spine in 2017. I have to take nerve blockers, which is gabapentin, which is also an epilepsy drug made to stop seizures, but it's also used for that as well. But yeah, I'm waiting for basically I've now got osteoarthritis in my lower spine from where I had my fall in 2017, 2018. I had surgery to fix it, but it seems that it was only temporary. Like, it's not temporary. Like, I've still got the metalwork in my spine, whether I like it or not. But the knock-on effect from the fall, has caused my hereditary problems that run in my family to maybe kickstart themselves maybe 30, 40 years early. Whether it would normally probably happen in my 60s, 70s, getting osteoarthritis. I'm getting it in my fucking spine, and I've got it at the bottom of my spine in 4 of my discs at the age of 36. That's unheard of. And that's because of my accident, which brought on, well, I've had 3 falls now from 3 heights. So those 3 falls are what brought on my osteoarthritis in my spine so early on into my life, basically. And of course I got autism and ADHD and got diagnosed with at 26. So I mean, you leave your head of it when it's screwed on. How'd you forget your dinner and leave it in the bloody side? You're lucky Teddy's not fucking a German Shepherd size. Because to be able to get access to the sides and eat that. Where's my fucking sandwich gone? I swear I've just put it on the side. I swear I've just put it on the side. You turn around and all you see is like a few crumbs on the floor. You were left with 1 crumb. I'm eating pesto chicken pasta. It's really fucking good. I've not eaten anything in like 12 hours. I was saying that, sorry, a lie. I had cereal this morning. So I haven't eaten something today, but it was proper early in the morning. But when I got up at like 10 o'clock or whatever it was. Teddy's waiting for mine now. That's what I mean, he gets spoiled. My dog is a spoiled dog.
Yes, but
If only how spoiled he knew he was. Maybe behave a little bit more better.
nice.
Mm-mm-mm. I'm hungry.
No, it's a big for me.
So, I mean, he's lazy. It's a bit funny for him to look at. Finish what you got first. You finish what you got first. He's like, there's nothing in there, Dad. Don't you try and gaslight me. He goes back to, oh, actually, there is something.
Right, yeah, I'll tell him.
I need to get a drink.
Nice.
I need to get a drink.
No, but
I will give myself a drink in a minute.
17-year-old leads police on 140 mile per hour car chase in a stolen Audi. Manchester police, let's go.
It's where sort of all these things normally happen. Leeds, Bradford, Manchester, Birmingham.
Right, Manchester,
Especially with the TNs on.
This is in 2026. 2026.
Night TNs he's got
So
on.
they are posting this immediately.
They love wearing those around there. That's all you see chavs wear around there.
what's that?
Those shoes he had on.
Oh, not a drink. Charlie Juniors.
Yes, it was
Right, so for today's video, we actually have two topics to talk about. The first one being a food reviewer who recently went to a restaurant and left a pretty negative review, but then received a DM from someone at the business basically threatening them. And the second topic might actually sound a bit familiar if you've watched my videos for quite some time, because previously on this channel we spoke about a smoking fee scam in a hotel. A guest made a video, said they were charged a ridiculous amount of money for smoking in their hotel room, and turns out they didn't smoke in the hotel room. Well, it's happened again, but with a different guest this time, in a different hotel, but the hotel is also in New York City, like the previous situation. Now, as always, with these multi-topic videos, I'm going to put the chapters in the timeline so you can watch in any order that you fancy. But yeah, let's get into the first topic. So the restaurant you'd be aware of here is The Licking at South Beach in Florida. And I think it's safe to say this restaurant has definitely received mixed reviews. I mean, if we take a look at the Google page, we can see they've got a 3.7 rating, and only 9 reviews have been uploaded since this situation we're talking about today. So even if you take away the 9 reviews that might have been posted just because of the situation we're talking about, they would still have pretty mixed reviews. But clearly it is a very popular restaurant, right? They have thousands of reviews on Google. If you take a look on TikTok, there have been many food reviews that have been uploaded. But even looking at the food reviews that have been uploaded to TikTok, they are still pretty mixed, right? I mean, Keith Lee actually went there a few years ago And in his review, there were parts that he clearly hated and parts that he thought were pretty decent.
That has no flavor at all. It just tastes like oil. I give it a 0 out of 10. The chicken is good. The chicken is juicy. The noodles just don't have enough sauce in me. I give it like a 4 out of 10.
And again, we have another food review here from an account called Swollen Bats. And just like Keith Lee's review, there were parts that they liked and there was parts that they definitely didn't like.
Hope everyone's doing well. Just had my dinner, so I'm gonna chill now, have a smoke.
It's in that plate, man. Whoa. Whoa.
I'm gonna eat my dessert in a minute.
And now that brings us to a very recent food review at The Licking, and it was by a user called
Hope everyone looks
Mr.
after their mental
Lewis.
health.
Now, we have actually spoken about Mr. Lewis previously on this channel. You might remember the situation where he basically made a video calling out the staff at a cafe, I think, because he walked in with a drink from outside the cafe. It was a coffee, I believe. And they basically said you're not allowed to bring outside drinks into the cafe. And then he lied about having diabetes to try and bring it in. And then they just still didn't let him. And then he said they were discriminating, even though he lied about having diabetes. And now he has recently made a video reviewing The Licking. And he clearly didn't have a great experience. Although I will say, it seems like he kind of hated it from the jump and kind of knew that he was going to hate it.
This is DJ Khaled's restaurant. Let's see how expensive it is. The Licking in Miami is supposed to have some good soul food. I'll be the judge of that, DJ Khaled.
Oh, DJ Khaled. It's a little ghetto up in here, Khaled. What the hell is this? I don't even know if I want to order. You know what? I'm leaving. It's too ghetto in there, but I don't want to eat there. Should I get another chance? Yeah. All right. All right. What's the best stuff on the menu? The most expensive chef? Definitely doing that. Oh, hell no. What is this? Plastic forks? Come on, DJ Khaled. Do better than this, bro. This is cheese on it? Nah, actually, no damn cheese on my lobster. That's disgusting. It's so overcooked that it's dry, it's hard, it's flavorless.
Yeah, this video was him just basically ripping into the food. Again, clearly didn't like it. There was some parts where he was like, this was alright, but overall, he clearly didn't have a good time.
Parmesan cheese that they put over there, that's cheap. That's sacking spaghetti Parmesan cheese on my lobster's a failure. Look at how dry this is. Look. It's like one of those Nature Valley bars, we crust and all like that. He haven't had a two. The lamb chops look skinny as hell.
So he tries a few more items, and at the end
The
of the
lamb
video,
chops
he
look
kinda gives
skinny
us
as
a message.
hell.
My overall experience at DJ Khaled's restaurant, underwhelming. With his luxury brand, you would think that he would have a more high-end restaurant. This one is given like a hip-hop hole in the wall. It's hot in here, it's sweaty, the music is way too loud, and they got these ratchet videos playing. I'm just not feeling that. I don't understand the concept. I'm gonna get the whole experience a 4. This is diabetes right here. This big cup of Kool-Aid. DJ Khaled, get your together.
I mean, yeah, I will say, I've only seen 2 videos from this guy. He's mentioned diabetes on both videos. I guess at least he didn't pretend to have diabetes in this one, but maybe that's a reoccurring thing in his videos, I'm not sure. But either way, as you can see, it was a pretty negative food review overall, and the restaurant actually reached out to him on Instagram and basically just straight up threatened him.
Restaurant owners are threatening food reviewers now. So I just reviewed a restaurant affiliated with DJ Khaled and it was horrible. So after posting my review, I get a DM from the restaurant. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They want to fix this. No, that's not what they want to do. This is what the message said. Pussy boy, you're playing with the right one. I wish I was there. You would have went viral. Excuse me? Is that a threat? Is the restaurant owner threatening me from their own page? So I DM them back. What would have happened if you were there? Then they're gonna say real subliminal. God bless you. See you soon with the praying hand emojis. You trying to pull up?
And then at this point, people started commenting on his video on Instagram, and they were basically saying that this has like happened before. There's a comment here that says, "My boy, you need to take this down. It's consequences behind this restaurant." Another comment here saying, "Remember what happened to the last food review personnel that gave him a bad review?" And then we see another comment that says, "Had that boy running for his life in Wynwood, he never came back." Now, I'm not 100% sure who they're talking about here. I did try to see if anyone had mentioned like who they're talking about. I couldn't find anything, but I guess according to these comments, someone left a negative review previously, and then something happened where someone was running for their life, apparently.
I wanted them to do an honest food review. This was not me looking to target the restaurant to make them look bad. In fact, my review, people were saying I was being nice. People were giving them zeros. People were saying stuff like this, like this. Apparently, it's known that the food is not good.
I mean, yeah, I don't even feel like I need to say this because it's obvious, right? But obviously, regardless of the fact that he left a pretty bad review of the restaurant, it obviously shouldn't result in DMs like this from like the official business page, by the way. So I'm assuming it must be like someone kind of high up, like a manager or someone, I'm not sure. And I just think surely you must know that he's probably going to share the messages, right? I mean, he makes TikTok videos reviewing places. He already left a pretty negative review at the restaurant, so if you send him a DM like this, he's probably going to make a video posting it. And I can't imagine that's good for business, right? People thinking like if they don't like the food and they tell people they don't like the food, then they're going to receive like threats on an Instagram DM.
Instead of trying to fix a problem, so they want to go out and threaten people who are giving them feedback. I have reviewed over 300 restaurants, and never in my life have I had an owner of the restaurant try to threaten me. Is this like a Miami thing? Is it because I'm black and you're black and you think you can speak to me this way? Is this how y'all handle business? I wasn't even gonna post the DM he sent me until 2 days later after I posted the video. He's gonna comment on the video goofy. Not, I'm sorry, how can we fix this? We're not in the 90s anymore, in the hip-hop days, where rappers used to threaten media personalities to take down bad stories. This is 2026, we speak our mind. My job is to give y'all an honest review so that you can be informed about the places that you're going to. Instead of trying to get physical and threaten food reviewers, why don't you try to invite them back for a better experience? That's the way that we resolve the situation, not pull up on me.
Now, from what I can tell, the Licking haven't responded to this video. I did take a look at their comments on Instagram, and there is a lot of comments about this whole situation, but I can't see a reply or a statement or anything like that. They have been posting stories since then, and I imagine they are probably aware of this video, right? It's on over 500,000 views in a day. But are they going to respond publicly? I'm not sure. But with the information that we do have, I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below. So now the second topic I want to talk about, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is kind of similar to something we spoke about previously. And the main person to be aware of here is a user called Ali Smith, who recently stayed at a hotel in New York City and then uploaded a video saying that it was scammed.
We just got scammed by our hotel in New York City and we have no idea what to do about it. We're staying at Row NYC. I'll put a photo of the Google listing right here. And we're so disappointed because we actually really like this hotel. Not anymore because they've tried to accuse us of smoking in the room.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we spoke about a situation very similar to this.
That's why when you go on blackbooking.com and stuff, it says smoking or non-smoking. Smoking. So you don't get an extra charge. I suppose you can't do that on Airbnb. You can on booking.com though. You should have booked it through booking.com. Then she wouldn't have had that. She got a smoking charge. She would have asked her if she wanted a room, smoking room or non-smoking room. She could have found a non-smoking place or just smoked out the back door if she had to smoke. Or just hire a cleaner for $150 to save you getting a fine.
Because I knew that is a scam that
And
happens
they'll
in New York City,
clean
but I
that
just didn't
like
know what
that.
happened with this
If
hotel.
you smoke in a
And these
car
are like the smoke
and you smoke in a
detectors
rental
out
car
here.
when you're not
We
supposed to,
don't smoke.
all you got to do
They've
is hire a
accused us of
professional cleaner to steam clean and clean your car out properly, and so it smells fresh again, and it costs you like 200 quid, it saves you a fucking £400-500 bill, doesn't it?
Hotel rooms, then these smoke detectors couldn't claim that you were smoking when it's actually just you blow drying your hair. So yeah, again, I'm not sure if this is like an intentional thing that hotels are doing, or if the sensors just aren't very good. But either way, it's bad, right? I mean, either they're intentionally scamming people, or they have sensors in that are very inaccurate and it's resulting in people being fined hundreds of dollars. Now, Ali goes on to say that the reviews for this hotel were really good, but she didn't really look like too deep into the reviews. But after this situation, she did look into the reviews a bit further, and it turns out that this has happened to multiple guests.
But this is just a big PSA. Do not stay at Row NYC. Make sure you do your due diligence when it comes to checking reviews, because we looked at the reviews and they looked good, but I didn't specifically search up smoking in the reviews.
Yeah. Because I looked forward to my bank account, and the notification of the charge came in at 3 a.m.
It's very suspicious.
Recently missed that. And they also said it's on the 4th of July that they charged us 2 days on the 7th of July at 3 a.m.
I feel like that is organized, like to charge at 3 a.m. a few days later.
No notification, like they contact us to say, hey, we're sending this charge.
I mean, that's pretty wild in itself, right? They were notified that they were going to be charged, so they weren't like asked by anyone, like, what happened here? Why did our sensors detect that you were smoking? But what we're hearing in this video is that they were just randomly charged at 3 a.m., like, what, 5 days after it apparently happened? I mean, you would think that they would get in contact with you first, right? Even if it's just like a note under the door or something.
The staff were not polite whatsoever. Like, they just said that all they could do is recommend that we contact the card company.
Yeah, they're like, sorry, we can't undo it. I don't believe that there's any payment system in the world that you can't do refund.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, if you can't refund it, give us a credit and we'll spend it like in the hotel restaurant or something. It's like, no, come on.
Yeah, it was actually really pathetic.
So yeah, that was Ali's video basically calling out the hotel, and following this video, I assume the place started getting like a bunch of negative reviews. At this point, a lot of them have actually been removed, because that happens with all these situations. But Ali has actually left a comment on this video that says, not them getting mass bot reviews to counteract our 1-star reviews. I should have rated 2 stars as it's impossible to contest. And then we also see a screenshot of reviews which Ali is saying are just bot reviews to counteract what happened following Ali's video. Now, about a week after the original video, Ali did actually upload an update video where she mentions that the hotel have actually got in contact with her.
His attitude, he was very apologetic. Yes, he was. He was very attentive, and he was asking about the staff members who weren't being helpful. Pretty much immediately, he offered to reverse all of the charges, and said that they could be refunded. Despite what we were told that they were impossible to refund, he was miraculously, magically able to refund them. So interesting. Yes.
Now, as much as this is obviously a positive outcome, it does obviously beg the question, would this have been the outcome if they didn't make a video that just so happened to go viral? I would probably guess that it wouldn't. There's no real way for us to know,
And then
right?
I think
But
the tail's
I'm sure this
gated.
probably does happen. Well, it does happen to a lot of people, right? We know this is a thing, apparently with a lot of hotels in New York City, and I imagine a lot of the times people don't get their money back. But not only did the smoking fee get refunded, the whole trip got refunded.
He agreed to refund the entire stay. It was through like spoken word, it wasn't through writing. So then we ended up emailing this email to them. You can pause to read it if you want to read it. But we also wanted to reiterate in the email that we believe that we have only received this treatment because of platforms that we have and because we've actually shared it to our social media following.
And yeah, I mean, if we look at the comment section, it's just filled with people, first of all, saying, like, this apparently happens quite often at this hotel, but also there are people mentioning, like, this probably wouldn't be the outcome if you didn't make the video. And obviously that shouldn't be how it works, but, I mean, we've seen many times on this channel that is kind of how it works, right? A company doesn't want to make a situation right until someone makes a video and it goes viral. So even though there was a positive outcome here, it does obviously make you think like how many people also got wrongfully accused of smoking in their hotel room and then were charged hundreds of dollars and they never got their money back. But yeah, either way, I'm going to leave the video there. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on both the topics that we spoke about in today's video. And if you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye. Right, so for today's video, we have another one of those situations where a business is called out publicly and they actually respond by releasing the CCTV footage. Now, usually when we speak about situations like this, and in fact, I believe every time we've spoken about a situation like this, the business that released the footage ends up with the majority of people on their side. You know, the footage usually proves that they were in the right. Well, this time, the complete opposite happened. The business ended up responding by releasing the CCTV footage, and if anything, they have damaged their reputation even further. But let's add some context to this situation. So there's a few people you need to be aware of. The first one being Lamera. This is a TikTok account right here. And the second person is Kina, or Kina. I'm so sorry to pronounce that wrong. It's short for Sakina, as was said by the Facebook post, so I believe that's how you pronounce it. But Lamera and Kina are the customers in this situation, and they have recently called out a coffee shop called 910 Coffee. It's a coffee shop in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and as we can see by their Yelp page, their reviews are currently being monitored because of this situation. And in fact, if we scroll a bit further down, we can see that this warning pops up saying, unusual activity alert, this business recently received increased public attention. This is basically a warning that happens on Yelp when a business is getting a bunch of negative reviews. So straight away, you can see what the public's opinion is on this situation. But let's actually have a look at what happened. Now, I'm going to try and explain all of this in the best order possible so it makes the most sense. There is a lot to this. There's been a bunch of videos that have been posted, there's been a bunch of posts on Facebook as well. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and make the most sense out of this as I can. So Kina and Lamera went to 910 Coffee to order a drink. They ended up having a bad experience, and the first public post about the situation was actually this post on Facebook. I believe this was made by Kina, and it says, Lol went to 910 Coffee Co this morning and was told by the manager that I can get the fuck out of her store because I politely let you know that my drink wasn't made correctly, and after refusing to refund me and refusing to remake my drink, she offered to scoop out the foam off of the top of the drink as a compromise. I guess her pride was bruised because my girl told her, okay, scoop. She then said we can get the fuck out of her shop because I'm the manager, and proceeded to call the police on us. Pretty cool first time experience. Anyway, this is her. Everyone say hello to Angel. Story time coming soon. Now before any video was made, 910 Coffee ended up responding to this post. So they said, we take all customer feedback seriously, but this post is not an accurate representation of what occurred. The statements being made are false and defamatory, and we have video footage of the entire interaction that clearly shows the full context of the situation. At no point did events occur in the manner being described here. We have a responsibility to protect our staff and our business from misinformation. Because of that, we are requesting that this post be removed immediately. If it is not taken down, we will move forward with formal action for defamation and will not hesitate to release recorded footage to correct the narrative. We are always happy to resolve concerns respectfully and professionally, but we will not tolerate false accusations against our team. So straight away, before the video is even being made, they are basically saying, if you do not remove this post, we are going to sue you. That's what I got out of this. And now it's at this point that 910 Coffee actually released the security footage, and I believe this was before there was any video made by Lamera or Keena. I think uploading his footage was just in response to the Facebook post. Or maybe multiple posts like a back and forth in the comment section. It's kind of hard to make sense of this because the coffee shop have actually now deleted their page, so all the comments are gone. Now we're actually going to be taking a look at a re-upload of the security footage from an account called Manor of 5, just because they actually have captions on screen, and the audio is very hard to make out, or at least it was for me. So the captions definitely help, and in fact, I don't even think the captions are 100% accurate. At some points where I do think the captions are wrong, but it helps make sense of it all. So the footage starts with Lamera and Keena coming back into the store with their drink, and they're saying that the drink was made incorrectly. They're talking to what I believe is the manager of the store, Angel, and she is saying, like, I know how to make the drink. She's basically saying that she made the drink right. And Lamera and Keena are trying to explain that this is basically not what they asked for.
Okay, that's the last report product? Yes. Okay, so you got this sauce, lavender, and oregano. We only wanted it black, so we have to work on it. I know how to make it. I know how to make it. Okay, and the third sauce for the report product. I do not. Okay, because I work here. Okay, so other contracts, the other contracts. With these, she didn't do not express on the flash,
Do the bath, Teddy. Yes, you do. Smelly dog smell.
So yeah, straight away we can see there's a disagreement about this drink, but there's nothing over
I
crazy.
just smell water.
We've just got customers saying that the drink wasn't made, what was going to be made, and then the member of staff saying that this is how we make the drink. Now the manager of the coffee shop, Angel, ends up saying that she can remake the drink, but she's going to have to charge them.
Yeah.
And he's come up to get the water.
We can see Angel ends up taking the drink away to correct it or something, I guess. Obviously we saw the post that apparently said she was going to scoop something out of the top of it, and they ended up saying yes, so I guess that's what she was going to do. But as she comes back over with the drink, she ends up saying, get the fuck out of my coffee shop. Okay, so just to add some context here, because again, it's quite hard to understand. So Angel comes over and she says, you need to get the fuck out of my coffee shop. Now later on we find out that Angel is claiming that Keena and Lamera were saying something that the audio can't pick up, and that's why she comes back over and says. Now, what Lemera has said in response to this is that the thing that the audio can't pick up is that Lemera and Kina were talking to each other and saying that they're not going to come back to this coffee shop and they're going to leave a review. But then we see things escalate even further in the clip that we just watched, because I believe Lemera says, can we get a refund? I guess Angel said no, like I've made the drink. Then she ends up saying that she's going to phone the police. And judging by the footage, she does actually do this.
She'll be
It basically became an argument, right? We've got Kina and Lemera saying that they need a refund, they're not getting any drink at this point. We also heard in the previous clip they say something along the lines of like your employees were trying to like maybe help you with the drink and you were interrupting them or something like that. And yeah, clearly judging by this footage, Angel is not budging on this whole situation.
You interrupted the employees to tell us what we want, ma'am. You don't understand that? Okay, that's fine. We asked for that, though. We asked for that. Yeah. We asked for that. You can go ahead and solve it. That's some bullshit. But you didn't come to share actual here. People that come here to pay. Let's pay customers. Let's get them out of your shop. Cool. Solve it. Can we get a refund? Because she got out. What is wrong with her?
Yeah, so Angel goes out of the phone, she's on the phone, she's not having this. And later we see her come back into the frame and just still on the phone, and you can hear her like describing what's happening in the shop. Again, I'm assuming she's talking to the police. And in fact, whilst on the phone, Angel, when describing what's happening in this situation, she's basically saying that some customers are trying to get free drinks out of them, and I believe Kina responds saying that no, we're not trying to get free drinks, we just want to get the drink that we ordered.
We're not asking for free shit. I never asked for nothing fucking free, so don't do that. Okay, cool. I didn't ask for nothing free.
And then towards the end of the footage, we see that Kina and Lemera end up leaving. Angel comes back into the frame, still on the phone, and she's saying things like, oh, can you hear them in the store?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Hope everyone's sound, doing well, looking after their mental health.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, throughout the video, it doesn't seem like the caption is
Listen out.
100% accurate, but I think it does help kind of
Listen.
understand what's happening. But that is the footage that the coffee shop ends
It means
up
he wants to go
releasing.
for a
And I
week.
think it's fair to say it just completely backfires. The majority of the people responding
When he starts
to this
crying
video
like that,
are on
it's
the
because
side
you
of
overfed him
Lemera.
water.
And it's actually
No,
interesting
too much
commenting
water.
on what I believe
He was in
Kina's
it back,
post,
the
and
kids
she
in
says trying to
everything,
message you.
getting
And here we can see the DM. So it says, hey, I apologize for getting back to
Come
you
on
so
then.
late. I had a lot of errands after my shift to run from my personal home and for the coffee shop. I just wanted to address something from earlier and apologise for my wrongdoings
Thank you.
and for my side of things. I truly did not want it to go as far as it did. I will absolutely admit that my pride in not wanting to make you another drink for free only because I felt I had made it correctly. I would like to point out that all coffee shops do tend to make drinks differently, especially between corporate and local. I really do not go to Starbucks at all. No hate to them, but I support locals more. I understand that you wanted less almond milk in your drink, like a splash, and I did try to give that to you in the beginning because cortados generally don't have a lot of milk in the first place. I tried helping you out by scooping out some of the foam on top. What bothered me was that as I was doing that, I heard commentating going on about how y'all would never come back to the shop, and I genuinely wasn't upset to hear that part. I understand that it wasn't a great experience so far, and we're not everyone's cup of tea. What upset me was when I said, that's fine, hun, I was immediately met with anger and I want a refund. In that moment, I felt as if a refund wasn't necessary due to me making the drink correctly and trying my best to help you. In the end, a refund obviously would have been better than the incident that took place, and I will keep that in mind for future references.
Hope you
Apart from
will.
my wrongdoings and my side
Hope
of
you're
things, I still believe it was inappropriate for the actions that took place on your behalf, considering that it was a public area and that there were children present. We do have a right to refuse service to anyone, and I would like to assure you that I have asked other people to leave before in the past, in brackets older white men mainly, for being sexually inappropriate with my baristas and other customers. I would love to say that I really am not racist, I am just protective of the shop, the employees and the customers. I take my job seriously, sometimes too seriously to be honest. Yes, actually on this part where Angel is saying like I want to say that I'm not racist, I've seen Kina make a few posts on
but
Facebook
I
saying
don't know
like,
what the hell
I
is
never
it's like
said
that.
you were racist, and I would love you to show any proof
What?
of me calling you racist.
Eh?
And yeah,
What?
I personally
So
haven't
what?
seen where Lemera and Kina have said that they are racist. It's actually just like the public reaction to it all. If you look at the comment section, there's a bunch of people saying that. But yeah, here's one of Keena's posts saying, still waiting for the proof of us ever calling them racist or us inciting her and her family to be harassed. These are serious accusations. Summer Sozari. Now, Summer is actually the owner of the coffee shop. We'll be talking about Summer a little bit later on. She's actually responded to all of this. Now, Angel's message carries on saying, I did see a comment mentioning that I called the cops before on young black teenagers. To also clear that up, I only did that because they were fist fighting in the parking lot right in front of the shop, though they weren't causing issues directly inside. That is still a way of defaming the shop since it was right in front of us and it could have deterred future customers from coming in and around the area. I'm pretty sure there were white teenagers in that group as well, but it really had nothing to do with their skin colour, only the severity with what was going on in that moment. I just wanted to clear that up because I know the two incidents together can look bad. Apart from that, the only time I asked the police to come by is about a creepy white man behind our building. He watches my baristas take out the trash and he's physically assaulted me before, so he is honestly my only issue. And if you ever see the cops there, it's most likely due to him. With the actions on your behalf, the yelling, cussing, refusing to leave after being asked, I felt that I needed to get authorities involved to de-escalate the situation. I didn't intend for me doing that to make it out to be like I didn't like you or people of your colour, but more in a way where I was trying to prevent anything serious from happening. I don't know you personally, so I don't know what you're capable of, and I mean that in a sincere, harmless way. In that moment, I felt the need to protect my baristas and myself, especially myself because I am pregnant right now and it was a very stressful situation for me. I also do not ask people to leave often, and there are some that I have asked to leave for that day, and we've been able to resolve issues with later and they're still regular customers because sometimes people just have bad days and words being said can come across differently on both ends. At the end of the day, we both been treated in that moment. I know I'm manager at work, but I'm still human and I'm not afraid to speak up for myself. I encourage everyone to be that way though, even if it were the other way around and I was the customer in the situation. Oh, also, we did give you a refund, but we didn't realise it was paid with cash, so it's been sitting in the bag at the shop right now with my sister Lexi. She's incredibly kind. I will not be there. If you want to try talking again, I don't mind meeting up there and we can sit down and talk, only as long as it's formal. I promise to behaviour. I do apologise again for my behalf if making you mistreated, but I'm hoping that we can come to an understanding. Hope you're doing well, and I hope this message comes across as sincere. I know your mum is leaving for Africa today, or your friend's mum. So I'm sure that the day has already been stressful enough for you guys as well. I'm sorry, I know it's a long read, but it's sincere and I mean well. And in this video, we can hear Lemera's thoughts on this message.
She then sends her a full apology, which wasn't really an apology because she was doubling down on what she was saying and then apologizing and then doubling down again. We ignored the apology because it was a half-assed apology and we felt like since she embarrassed us publicly, she should apologize publicly. But instead of going to our post and posting her apology on there, she posted a whole post basically doubling down on her narrative and how we were in the wrong.
Yeah, so we have even more to read here. So Angel ends up posting this publicly and says, I have sent an apology and also commented that here when I replied to someone else, I don't see the comment anymore, so I'm not sure if it got deleted. But I would like to publicly say that I messaged her privately with an apology on my end. I definitely look terrible in the video because you can't hear the comments that were being said when I was trying to fix the drink. The comments that were being said is what made me tell her to leave. I admitted to being prideful and not wanting to fix the drink since I already believed I had made it correctly and gave her everything she asked for, so that is my fault. My reasoning for calling the cops is not to have them arrested, but to de-escalate the situation. Like I've explained to someone else, I don't know them personally, so I don't know what they're capable of. When someone is being asked to leave for rude commentary, which again you can't hear, so I definitely fix a lot, and they refuse to leave, in my mind the safest option is to call the police. My intentions were not to have them arrested, but to de-escalate the situation and to make sure that everyone else was safe. In these situations, adrenaline rises, there's no telling what can happen. As a manager, I felt the need to protect the peace in the shop, protect my baristas, the customers and the children inside. As I've said, I did send her a private message on my end and a refund was also offered later in the day, later than what it should have been. I do believe that the party could have been more cooperative and not as loud as they were. It's hard to believe what I'm saying because you can't hear their commentary that made me tell them to leave, but I completely understand the frustration. We do have witnesses that did hear their comments and they can back me up on that part. Another thing, y'all, I did not steal the drink. You can't hear them say it, but they handed it back to me or put it on the counter and they said they didn't want it anymore. So I was going to dispose it. Overall, I do believe both parties and I have apologised. I know this won't mean much to everyone, but I can admit to my own faults and I want to make sure that I publicly put it out there. Yeah, so basically what you can see from this statement is that Angel is saying like I apologise and stuff like that, but she is also saying like, yeah, I look bad in the video because you can't hear what they're saying. And bearing in mind, the coffee shop were the ones who put out this footage, right? No one else did that. So clearly they thought that people were going to be on their side when releasing this footage, and they thought the footage made them look good, because why else would they release it? Now at this point in the video, Lemera goes on to explain what she said, like, under her breath, or the commentary, as Angel called it.
In the message that she wrote, she's claiming the reason she told us to get the fuck out of her coffee shop she said was commentary that we were making under our breath, but you cannot hear on the footage. What we were saying under our breath quotation was, I will be leaving a review and I won't be coming back to this place. And when she was making her passive aggressive commentary, okay, honey, that's fine, love. I told her that I did not ask her opinion about me not coming back and leaving a review. And in response to that, she said, we can get the fuck out of our coffee shop. But claiming she felt the need to protect her employees, self, and children, she cussed around to begin with. We never at any point refused to leave like she said we did. In response to her telling us to leave, we asked for a refund. That's what we did.
And then responding to Angel saying like we can meet up and talk about it, this is what Lamera had to say.
In the apology, she also offers us to sit down and talk with us when we go receive our refund that we never got before we left, that she refused to give us before we left. But she was so scared of us though. She stated that she was trying to protect the people around her and herself. But if you felt the need to protect yourself, why would you want to meet up with us in person at the coffee shop? We don't even want to meet up with you because of how uncomfortable you made us feel. So if we did everything that we did, why would you want to meet up with us?
And now it's at this point that the owner of the coffee shop responds. So this is what Summer has to say. She says, since a lot of people are saying the owner needs to speak, here I am. I don't involve myself in drama and I've always stayed out of it. But what happened over the last couple of days has gone far beyond a situation over a cup of coffee. There is a lot more to this story than what's being shared online. This was not a random one-sided interaction, and it's also not the first time we've had issues with this individual. There have been ongoing concerns in the past. I'm not going to say effing was handled perfectly, because it wasn't. My manager could have handled parts of it better, and we are addressing that internally. At the same time, she was actively trying to fix a drink, and the situation escalated due to comments being made. If you want me to shut down, that's fine, but understand that this doesn't just affect me. It affects my employees, their families, and everything we've built to support the community. I've always been someone who promotes others, supports small businesses, and encourages people, especially women, to take risks, grow, and live outside the box. I understand that everyone has their opinions, and that's okay. You don't have to agree with me, but having a different opinion should never turn into hate, harassment, or threats. What I will not tolerate is what has happened after the fact. Driving by my home, I have pictures, videos, and witnesses. Driving by my mother's home, taking pictures of her house and sending her threats. Calling my business and harassing my employees, including telling them to hide and making threats. And then there are people sharing our personal information online, our address, our vehicles, LLC information, and more. This is completely excessive. That is private. We have children and families in these homes. How would you like it if someone did that to you? Let me be very clear, this is no longer about coffee, this is harassment. Now yeah, obviously it should go without saying, it should never get to this point right where people are driving by the home, so stuff like that's happening, that is completely wrong on so many levels. Now after this post was made, the mayor actually made a video responding to some comments.
Mind you, that was my friend's first time there, and every other time I've been there, I've never had an interaction with them that was negative. They have been rude, but I've always ignored it. We've never had an interaction.
And the mayor did also make a follow-up video saying that she does not condone threats and doesn't want people to do that.
I just wanted to let you guys know that we don't condone threats. If you're finding yourself making a threat to any baristas, including the baristas that weren't even involved, making calls to the establishment, driving by people's homes, taking pictures, this is all true. This is allegedly, but still, if you guys are doing that, please stop. We don't condone threats. We don't condone causing harm to anyone. That's not our intention. We just wanted to share our bad experience at this coffee shop, and simply that's it. If we pursue legal action, that's on our end, and I really don't appreciate you guys going out of your way to make threats on people that weren't even involved. Not sure if it's happening, but if it is, please stop, you guys. We don't condone that type of behavior. There's a respectful way to handle things. We shared our experience, but that doesn't mean that you guys have to cause harm to others. That's not what we're asking for, and we're not asking for anything.
But yeah, bearing in mind everything that we spoke about in today's video, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like I said, this is probably the first time we've spoke about like a cafe or a restaurant or whoever releasing security footage and actually
Little bit of a right. Straight away. Oh yeah, like I'm the youngest person ever that has signed a Kanye West, but do you mind putting that with on phone? Is that okay? Can we use your account? Mine's just, I just forgot the password. No, I'm gonna give you it back and stuff, obviously, but I just don't really feel like paying for it right now, personally. Now Lucille says that still to this day, nobody has got paid for any of that. She's still needing the money for all of this financing she did for Kid Cole. And straight away, you can see that this isn't a regular episode of Catfish. Normally, they all follow the same principle of somebody being in love with another person, and they're unsure if that person is real, so, they want to meet them in person to make sure that they are being catfished. We're dealing with more of a scammer here, and we're trying to get to the bottom of this, who this person really is. Now, after this, Neve and Max decide to have a video call with Lucille, and Lucille explains that she's down over £1,000 because of all of the money that she financed for Kid Cole. He also explains that she would set up other various events for him, such as appearances at high school. She would even book all of his hotels when he was on tours, security, even food and money. Like, she would give him money. Bearing in mind, this guy's meant to be like the next big artist in the world.
The security team's bill was over $13,000. The driver's bill was over $8,000.
You didn't pay those.
They never got paid.
Oh, sorry, the driver's bill was £8,000. What the bloody hell is that bloke driving? £8,000 just to be driven around? What?
Yeah, £8 to be driven around. That's stupid. Like, how are you spending £8 to be driven around?
Criticizing the victims in this situation here. But that's a hell of a lot of money. Maybe he's on Kid Cole's side. He was like, I'm not paying that bloody bill. Are you joking us? No, but it is crazy that these people have offered their services and they haven't been paid for it. And at the end of the day, they're all going to be looking at Lucille for an answer. Now, you're probably wondering, why was Lucille continuing to go along with this? Well, she was promised that she would get a job at like a record label, and she thought this was just kind of like her doing the grunt work. Like, she's never been in this industry before. It was very exciting for her. She thought that she had to kind of go out of her comfort zone and kind of, take a few hits to be able to land the dream job. And honestly, I totally understand that, because when you are trying to get into a new industry, you have to kind of do stuff that you aren't really getting paid for, especially when you're trying to climb some sort of corporate ladder or something like that. You do have to do a lot of unpaid work. So I honestly don't believe that she was an idiot for this. She genuinely is just a good person with a good heart and was wanting to believe that her hard work was going to pay off. I can honestly sympathise with someone like this a little bit more than the guy that actually thought he was dating Katy Perry. Like, there is a line where you just have to be like, mate, are you actually taking the piss? Now, after ending this call, Neve and Max want to learn a little bit more about this Kid Cole, so they actually search him up on MTV's website, and they actually find out that he is on the website. Apparently, he works for Good Music and Kanye West. So this is even more puzzling, because straight away, if he wasn't on the website, you would be like, oh, this guy is clearly lying. But this seems to be, it kind of gives some truth to the situation, which just makes this entirely more confusing. So the next morning, Neve and Max decide to head to Lucille's house so they can meet in person and kind of, unearth a little bit more about this situation.
Was there any specific mention of the kind of salary you'd be getting?
I settled on like $70,000. Felt my shit they paid me.
After hearing Lucille talk like that, it makes me feel so sorry for her, because she's talked about how she's struggling for money, and she almost believed that this was her break, this was her way to kind of change her life around. £70,000 a year is a hell of a lot of money, especially in a field which isn't quite creative. So you also enjoy your job while earning a lot of money. This is a life-changing event for her. So emotionally, she's tied into the situation. Even if there is red flags, she may ignore them because she wants to believe that this is real. We say it all the time on this channel, Donuts, but when you're emotionally involved in a situation, it's a lot harder to actually recognise if it is a good thing or not. Now, after this situation occurred, Lucille did try to go to the police to see if there was anything she could do, because she felt like she was scammed. However, they just rubbed their hands clean of it and said this is more of a civil matter. Well, obviously Lucille said herself she doesn't have the money to take Kid Cole to court, so, her hands are kind of tied here. Very clearly, she's been targeted because she is vulnerable financially, and they know that nothing's really going to come back to them when eventually Lucille recognises that this may have been a scam. And this makes me so much more intrigued to see what happens when we eventually see Kid Cole, if we even do. I honestly feel like this meeting is going to be wild. Now, after this, Neve and Max get to see some with the text messages between Lucille and Kid Cole throughout their entire relationship of knowing each other. But just quickly, a quick word from today's video's partner. Donuts, I have a question for you. Are you going abroad this summer? Don't you hate it when your phone's internet won't work like it does at home? So frustrated. Well, UBG is an app that allows you to get eSIM data plans in over 200 destinations, meaning that you won't be surprised by extortionate data roaming charges when abroad, so that your money can be spent on yourself. Some people have saved over 90% versus paying the roaming charges from their local network. Honestly, using an eSIM really takes away the stress of running out of data when you are abroad, so that you can focus all of your time on enjoying your holiday. Personally, it also gives me a little bit of peace of mind knowing that I'm not joining, like, you know, local Wi-Fi networks where, you know, you're not really protected. It also requires 0 monthly commitment, unless you do pick a monthly subscription, obviously. And the eSIM data plan will only activate when you actually arrive at your destination. So take the headache out of going away without ready-made data today. If you use the promo code Kirkham, you will also get 10% off at checkout. Click the link in the description now.
Guests include Pharrell, Kanye West, and Jaden Smith.
I was just, you know, reaching out to you to see if you can help me with some things.
Watching Catfish is honestly so painful sometimes because with hindsight, with you knowing that this could possibly be a catfish, it just looks so obvious. But in the moment, I do have a lot of sympathy for these people because me, myself, when I was younger, I had also been catfished. I've talked about this on my Reacts channel. It's a horrible situation. But when you see, like, you're going to be at a party with, like, Jaden Smith, Kanye West, Trey Songz, it's so horrible watching this back, knowing that it's all just bullshit. If someone said this to me looking at this with hindsight, I'd be like, yeah, okay, mate, next joke. Oh, yeah, Trey Songz, Kanye West, Jaden Smith, and then Cam Kirkham. Oh, yeah, that's definitely true. I was definitely first on the guest list there, obviously. They were like, what, he wears migraine patches on his head? Yeah, we've got to get him in. He's so cool. I've actually been contacted by the Met Gala guys, but I've had to turn them down because I've got Reacts videos to film. Sorry, Anna Winter, if you are watching, as you probably are, you know.
Everything that I'm doing is pretty much a test as far as how I'm going to perform if I'm with the leader.
But even that's a red flag, though. I feel like in any industry, and I know I mentioned previously, sometimes you do need to do work outside of work hours to, you know, progress in a job, but before you've even started the job, if they're making you do this amount of work and have this amount of responsibility unpaid, it is a bit of a red flag. Because why can't they pay you even just some sort of base rate for a trial period? Like, especially when it's lasting over a month. This is Kanye West's record label. They've got money, you know? It's not like we're working at some sort of startup or we're with, like, an independent artist that has recently left a record label and is trying to build their name up.
Nobody loves me. Everybody just wants to be with me because I have money.
Got you hooked emotionally and like
Psychologically.
Oh yeah, everyone wants to be with me because I've got money. Everybody wants to be with me because it means that they can put my Ubers on Klarna. Honestly, like, I have to push everyone away. Guys, if you want to pay for my things on finance, please form an orderly queue, okay? I will interview everyone one by one. The desperation stinks, guys, okay?
He always threatens, well, I'm gonna call Kanye. People gonna
Who
get
threatened?
fired. Kid.
You're gonna call Kanye West to fire me from a job that I don't get paid for? Oh, please, no! What? No, I need this. I need it. So clearly here we've got someone that is very narcissistic, very selfish, and also uses manipulation to get whatever they want, thinking that they can, you know, just say, oh, I'm going to ring Kanye West, and then they're going to sack you as a way to kind of, I guess, motivate people to be under his thumb. It's very, very toxic, and it shows that he's not a very nice person. I am so intrigued at this point to see how Kid Cole is going to respond to this. And if he actually does know Kanye West, Lucille then goes on to say that Kid Cole would always put this mounting pressure on her, and she also had all of the pressure from, you know, the people she'd hired in terms of security, drivers, like people that were cooking food for him. All of these people were like invoicing her, and obviously she had no money.
These are people who have families, who have rent to pay, like, I mean, and they were banking on getting paid from this job.
I honestly don't know how people like this exist in society. Look, I'm not trying to say that I'm the nicest, most, like, whatever person, but how can somebody take all of this money out of someone's pocket and then just ghost them? Like, how do you live with yourself? Like, do you have no guilt whatsoever? Like, honestly, I do, like, the tiniest thing. Like, I'll have an interaction with someone where I feel like I've been rude, but I haven't at all. And I would think about that for, like, a week after it. Like, I feel like I have all of the guilt that these people have no guilt of. How do people not feel shame? side. If it's something that you're kind of, the way that you grow up, you're not like made to feel any guilt, so then you now have it in adulthood and you feel like you
Just
can
started
use
washing
people.
machine.
I'm so intrigued how people get with this
Just
point where
started
they
washing
think this is
machine.
okay behaviour.
No.
Lucille
Definitely
even
broken.
says that she tried to
Well,
contact
definitely worse than what it was,
Miguel,
because they
who's
never
an
used to do
associate
that,
of
ever.
Kid Cole, to
It's
see
better
if
if you
he
started
can
straight
sort it
away.
out. Apparently he also
In fact, I
was
can,
hosting
and I put it
her.
back on the first setting.
Transportation company needed a valid credit
In
card
fact, I put it on the
on
first
file
setting.
because his credit card
Then
declined.
press play, see if it made any
Who
difference.
does that?
I mean, that's
And then
insane. If
put
they're
it on,
not paying
took it off
invoices
quick
of
watch,
like £4,000
so it went on the second setting again.
figures, and
But
then
I
on
had it
top of
before.
that asking, you know, for your
Made no
assistant
difference.
or whatever he classes Lucille as credit
Before we
card.
didn't have this
What
knocking
happened
this
to
time,
shame,
but
people?
to
You will never catch
whoever
me
it was,
listening
so
to a Kid Cole
fucking
song ever
loud noise we
again.
had before. Didn't hear it this time, so I heard no motor kick in from where you hear the at the beginning, from where the water go in the drawer, and I didn't hear the drum go around at all from when I put it on spin. So I don't know, I'm gonna have a look back in 5 minutes and see if it's changed or making a noise or anything, and if not, then the washing machine's definitely on its way out.
Security team, the Stagger and Cole team, Donna. Sorry, why does this guy need so much security? That's what I want to know. Now at this point, after gathering enough information,
Like I said, it
me
might
and
be
Max
just something
decide
simple as
that
like a
we
hair,
need to know more about this Kid Cole character and see if
Like I
he
said, there
actually
were holes
is
in the
legit. Now,
washer,
obviously
so
earlier
easy
on, they
for
found him
fools
on MTV's
and get
website,
stuck
but
in the
that was
motor,
only like a
the
little bit of a
mechanism or
base
something.
search. They're going a little bit deeper now, and because obviously Catfish aired on MTV, they've clearly got contacts within the company, so they decided to ring a woman called Alison, who deals with a lot of the music
Yeah,
side
try
of
put it
MTV,
back
to
on
see
just so
if
I
she
could spin
knows
it.
anything.
No, I tried to put the washing back on earlier just so I
Ever
could spin
heard
it.
of an artist
I
named
can do it.
Kid Cole?
Oh, Kid Cole? Oh yeah, the
Because the last
greatest
thing you want to do
artist
is
of
leave a
our
weapon there
generation,
because
with many
it's
hit
not that normal
singles
in the
like
a day.
I
And then you go wash it
nothing, I'm
again.
afraid. The cogs in my brain were trying to come up with something funny, and I just went, nah, can't be arsed. Do you ever
And we
have
don't
like a
really
brain
want to
fart
be going
moment
back
like
with
that,
that.
where you kind of announce that you're going to be
Kind of
speaking and go,
Yeah, I did.
It's not ideal. No, I mean wet, man. It's soaking like full
no,
washing.
but
So
yeah, Kid Cole got me out of a hard time. He did put me in the hard time, but he got me out of it as well with his lyrics. Obviously being so inspirational.
got some ice creams today. I got Magnum almond
Straight away,
and I got a Fab as well.
So basically, getting on MTV's page, I imagine, is a lot like getting on YouTube. You know, anybody can start a YouTube channel. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are a YouTuber or a full-time YouTuber. Back in the day, this must have been the exact case with MTV's website as well. But obviously, if you're not in that industry, you might not know, you know? Like, I'm not using this against Lucille. Like, me, if I looked on MTV's website and saw that Kid Cole's name was on there, I probably would think that it was the label that put him on there. Even now, I wouldn't think that you could create your own kind of, you know, landing page, but then again, you could research it. But I'm always very hesitant to blame the actual victims in these episodes, Donuts, because, you know, this happens to a lot of people, and all of these people can't be stupid. They're just normal people that have been manipulated. Now, after this phone call, Max and Neve then decide to do some searching on Kid Cole's name to see what comes up.
Apparently a picture of him with Kanye, but you can't really tell who this is.
Sorry, that's his photo with Kanye, but the face is blurred out. Why have you blurred out the photo with Kanye? Like, your entire brand is being associated with Kanye, but when you take a photo with him, you blur out his face. Oh yeah, good thinking there. Something tells me that that's not Kanye West. I actually think it's Kanye East. Terrible joke. Sorry, Donuts, that's horrific. Again, I need to have a child, so these dad jokes are actually worth it. I do have a child, to be fair. I've got a dog. I'm a dog dad. So you can't come at me, okay? Maybe Kanye just doesn't want to be associated with Kid Cole. That could be the reasoning, okay? He's like, I'll sign you my record label, but I'm not getting a photo with you. Are you mental? Now, interestingly, after this, they then play one of Kid Cole's songs from his SoundCloud, and they try to Shazam it. If anyone doesn't know what Shazam is, you play a song and it will tell you who it's by.
We just got a hit on this song. It's by Little Martin. This doesn't mention Little Martin at all.
What? Not Little Martin? I didn't realize Little Martin was dragged into this. This is the worst day ever. First Kid Cole I can't listen to. Now I've got to scratch Little Martin off. Oh, God. Don't trust any artists these days.
Okay, so Gary Coleman's a real album. No mention of Kid Cole anywhere.
So clearly, Kid Cole has just put his name over Little Martin's work, which, surprise, that really angers me, honestly. You know, give Little Martin the credit that Little Martin deserves. I have just searched Little Martin on Spotify to see if, you know, this is a big artist. He has 1 monthly listener. And I've just listened to it, so I think it could possibly be me. Maybe everyone is just thinking that all of his songs are Kid Cole's, that's why no one's going to his landing page. Shout out Little Martin though, you know? Now with this information, they then turn their attention to Miguel, who was Kid Cole's associate, and when they search his phone number, it actually gets traced back to somebody called Stone Cold Jerez. So I don't know if that's, you know, Miguel's birth name.
Let's run Kid Cole's phone number. Again, Jarrett, Yell and Kid Cole are the singers.
I absolutely love breaking down these Catfish episodes because they're almost like their own mini documentaries, aren't they? The fact that this guy has been playing the role of 2 people is absolutely insane, and the fact he's been switching between them as well. I can't imagine what this must be like for Lucille as well, because obviously, you know, she's been tricked for this long, and to have the wool pulled over your eyes like this, you would feel humiliated. You shouldn't feel humiliated, you shouldn't feel any sort of guilt. I do feel like this would knock my confidence severely, because you put your trust in someone that you honestly thought was a good person, and they've ended up playing you for a fool. But the weirdly positive thing at this point for Lucille is she knows she's being catfished to a certain degree, because we know that Miguel doesn't actually exist. But does Kid Cole exist? What's the link to his TED Talk?
Probably
Now
not.
that Neve and Max have discovered, you know, Kid Cole's
I'm guessing
real name
no.
is Jerez, they decide to search his actual name.
Kid Cole, aka Jerez Cole, is a scam artist here. Many
They found his name straight away.
a friend is out thousands of dollars and completely devastated.
So very clearly, this guy has almost got like his webs out on loads of different people, and he's able to kind of just pick and choose who he wants to take money from at any given opportunity. He might even have over 100 people in his contacts who he can get money from. So he's almost got this kind of, you know, rotating cast of people that can support him financially. Again, how have you got the time or the mental capacity to do this? Do you not just wake up one day and go, you know what, I can't be arsed for this, I'm just gonna get it. This is just more work than I remember when I
Cannot be arsed for this, there's more out for this work.
the person's name that I was speaking to all over like different kind of websites, over Reddit, over Facebook, just anything to see if I could find like any kind of, you know, ties to that name, and I couldn't, no matter how much I searched, and I imagine that Lucille might have done the same thing. Weirdly, it kind of satisfies that need that you have for wanting to believe it's true, so you kind of just stop searching and just kind of overlook it, because you're looking for any positive sign that this might be true, so when you get one positive sign, like, okay, right, I don't need to look anymore. Again, I'm just trying to get into the psyche of why Lucille has been kind of, you know, rolling for this for so long. Now, right after this, we get a call back from Alison, his friend who works at MTV, and she says that there is nobody by the name of Kid Cole who is signed to Good Music. So again, all of the lies are just getting exposed at this point. Now with all of this information in hand, Neve and Max have decided to tell Lucille everything. And obviously she's really upset because, you know, she's upset for herself, but she's also upset for everybody else that's been scammed in the process. And it just shows what a nice person Lucille is, because one of her first thoughts was thinking about everyone else apart from herself. And this is where Max and Neve start to turn their attention to locating Kid Cole. Now they're very confident that he is in the Washington DC area because everybody that has been scammed by him lives in Washington, and all of his phone numbers are tied to DC as well. We also hear back from the limo driver that was scammed by Kid Cole over $8,000. So they decide that they want to meet up with her. She's called Lorette, and she talks about how her company is nearly £10,000 worth in debt because of this blow.
And when what they Google this gentleman, he had like events in DC where he was with Kanye West and Jacob Smith.
I always think whenever I watch a Catfish episode, like, how do the people whose names are involved in this feel about it? Like, I know Kanye West is huge, you know, there's always people talking about him, but I still feel like this would be weird on a human level, that somebody has been pretending to be like your producer or your best mate or something like that. It must be so strange, and like those kind of people just have to treat this as if it's like an everyday normal thing.
They found out that he didn't have enough money. He like just the next day said that he was robbed the night before. told me a similar story.
Again, the audacity to go to a restaurant knowing that you're not going to be the one to pay for it because you've got this lie that you got robbed, but you actually just have no money at all, is wild in itself. I don't know how he can look these people in the eye while he's doing it.
Well, he wanted me to call and ask for security. These gentlemen were standing on the corner like he was Obama.
I'm just creased that he hired like over £10,000 in security. As if anyone's going to look at him and be like, that's bloody Kid Cole. Sang the good music. His best friend's Miguel. Get him! Fucking punch his lights out. Loretta also goes on to say that one day she dropped Kid Cole off at his grandma's house, and when she picked him up, she actually chatted to his grandma for a bit, and his grandma believed that Kid Cole was homeless because he'd been staying there for about 2 months, and this wasn't normal. Loretta also says that a friend had found like previous convictions that Kid Cole had had online, all of them for fraud as well. She also explains why they did get into $8,000 worth of debt. It was because Kid Cole was requesting the poshest car possible, like some sort of like Mercedes Maybach, which is like what obviously like millionaires, billionaires drive around in or get driven around in. So very clearly he wasn't just like, oh yeah, can you get us like a Toyota Prius? He was like, I'm Kanye West's best mate, man. I want bloody stars in the roof, man, not a bloody Seat Ibiza. Yeah, bloody bastards, yeah.
I said, I may not get a one dime out of you. I'm gonna let everybody know who you are, and I'm gonna haunt you like a ghost. They call me spooky.
Well, Loretta is cool. I'm gonna haunt you like a ghost. You can call me spooky. Oh my god, if somebody did this to me, I would fall for it. Even if I was a lad, I'd even dress up in a ghost costume and everything and just stand outside the house. I don't think if someone scammed me like this and I like had some sort of like connection to them in terms of like I can understand where they could possibly be, I don't think I'd be able to let that go. Or if it happened to someone that I really loved, I'd have to make it even somehow. I don't know how. Or maybe I would just hide like life-size Kanye West statues just around his home, just on the outside, or just in places that would be severely disruptive for him, like on his drive, underneath his car, on top of his car, the local McDonald's, just places that would kind of inconvenience him. Now later this night, Neve decides that it's finally time to try and organise a meeting with this Kid Cole. I want more of this content in your video, or the subscribe button, because if you don't, you may not see my face again.
So I can troubleshoot tomorrow if I can. Tell me.
Oh yeah, all good things. You know, the show about finding out if people are real or fake. Yeah, we found really good things actually. We're doing a special one-off episode and we just praise the catfish. Well, like, you know, honestly, I respect the hustle. Please have a photo with you where you have to flare out my face. Even the ego of that, like, I don't give you the show catfish. Probably about from what he's saying, especially when you know you have been catfishing people.
He wants to finally meet you, and we'd love to help facilitate that. Are you in DC or?
I mean, for a lyrical genius like Kid Cole, he's a man of few words when he's not on the mic. He must come alive when his passion is burning. One of those.
I'm not a fan of music and all that. Got it.
God, I'm so jealous right now. They're going to meet the Kid Cole. Oh, the guy that took Little Martin's song and made it his own. It's not fair. How does it feel that it's my
Just this, I
friend
kind of
Neve?
want
Yeah, we got him off guard, and you could tell he was scrambling.
Now I do want to note, Donuts, that at the end of this video we're also going to look a little bit deeper into Kid Cole and some of the things that we found after the episode. It's honestly so shocking. We're also going to explain the story behind this photo. Now with that in mind, the next morning Kid Cole actually texts both Neve and Max with the time and location that he wants to meet them.
How are you? Surprised to see me?
Yeah, okay. Oh my god, it's Kid Cole! Oh my god! Sorry guys, just big moment for me personally. That was the most awkward hug ever. It's kind of like, you know, when, you know, at Christmas you meet family members and you don't really know, they're like extended family members. You don't really know if you're going for the hug, or you just go for the handshake, or you, I don't know, and you're kind of like, and then you can feel their bones, and you can feel your bones, and it's very unhuggy. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what I mean, do you? No, that's just, I think that's just a me thing. Do you know when you hug someone and it's awkward, and you can feel their bones? Do you know what I mean? It's like very bone. I mean, when you stop saying bony,
I've been, you know, just relaxing, so we're just doing some stuff down here.
you know, just kind of sitting in Maybachs that I'm not paid for. One in McDonald's, get the Big Mac, let somebody else pay for it. If you wonder if that's much. The look on Lucille's face is like, we're about to take you to hell. She's ready for this moment. She's more red because she's like, I'm gonna create some blood.
You've been in the studio?
Yeah, I have a couple of projects coming up.
Yeah, you know, just, the college dropout, graduation, 808 Heartbreak, Vultures 2, just a couple of little things in the works.
Have you seen our show ever? No, I never did.
Surely you do a bit of research, though. I think this is the ego in him that he honestly believes that he will be able to sort his way out of whatever is coming towards him. Surely, if you search for fish and you recognise that they search for people that aren't appearing to be who they actually are, you would not turn up to this. I can't believe he actually has turned up, honestly. This is honestly one of the most awkward meetings I've ever seen in my life. Now, once the awkwardness does kind of wear off, Lucille kind of shares her side of the story to Kid Cole, and Eva Max also quiz him about him taking like different artists' music, specifically Little Martin. Don't know about that. But Kid Cole kind of brushes it all off, and he does say that he is legit.
There are people running businesses that have thousands of dollars of bills that aren't being paid.
Remember that?
Why is bro just going on his phone? Just, you know what you do when you're in an awkward situation, you just kind of like go, oh, right, yeah, right. Just pretend to text someone, you have no one to text, you've got no signal, you're not doing anything on that bloody phone, you're looking from your old photos on your photo album. Just try to pretend that you're not in the situation you are. You can't do that when you're the subject of discussion, sir. You're the issue here. That only works